on the post. Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys. Welcome, everybody. I'm sure no one's watching it, and these guys are probably wishing they were playing a different game because I'm kind of unorganized. But I'm Jason Hobbs. I'm the host of the podcast, RPG podcast, Hobbs and Friends of the OSR. And today we're playing a game I talk about a lot on that podcast called Kalmatta Live. It's a slightly house-ruled BX or Moldvay D&D, and I got some crazy ass players that decided to play this game with me. So I want to do some introductions first, and I'll just lead you guys. So James, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, I'm James. I'm going to be playing the thief for this game. Yeah, I have immaculate clothing. I'm young, and I'm missing the ring finger on my left hand.
Charles.
Yeah, my name's Charles. Go pretty far back with D&D and stuff, and I'm playing a cleric who's a young man in uniform. I'll take this to mean some type of clerical garb that signals he's. I might flesh that out a bit later, but notably has excessive body hair, which seems to fit. I don't know what else there is much to say.
It's BX. There's not a whole lot to say. So, all right, Philip, you can say something about yourself if you have something to plug or whatever too.
Yeah, I'm Philip Neitzel. I'm not that familiar with D&D, but I'm a line developer and editor for The Dark Eye, which is a big German role-playing game. Cool. And today I will be playing a badass dwarven grandma. And I'll call her Himby. She's nice for a dwarf. Wears formal attire and plate armor, which I guess is dwarven formal attire as opposed to a chainmail. And she's carrying a two-handed sword that's way bigger than her.
Awesome, Victor.
I'm Victor. I started with games like I think my first role-playing game, just to let you know, was Expert Moldvay, because you couldn't start with basic because it was basic. So I was always a little confused as to why I was missing levels 1 and 2. But I'm playing the magic user here. I'm an aging male, very messy clothed magic user with this long Fu Manchu, which would be nice if I had, but I don't. So we'll see.
Awesome, Andre. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm Andre. I'm playing a fighter, doughy-faced fighter wearing strips of linen, a balding pate with long hair. And I'm wearing a plate armor. I guess that's good. And that's it.
Awesome, thank you.
Killed violently.
All right, so I should let everyone know these characters were totally randomly generated, even the little bit of fluff that they have, which is very small, on Total Party Kill. We're playing a game called Kalmatta Live, which I told some of the players already is this product by Stormlord Publishing. This is the Swords and Wizardry version, which is full color, and they also have a black and white version that is for Dungeon Crawl Classics. This isn't. The game I'm running is 50 years in the future of this, and it's different enough that the actual author of this module plays in the game, and it doesn't ruin anything for him. I think that covers that. We're looking at some pretty sweet maps, if I say so myself, that I personally made. So you can see, this is Sindanor. You guys came on a boat from the mainland, came in, and basically, you know, each of your characters have some rumors on the bottom of the sheet, and this is what you know about the island of Kalmatta, which is a crazy, hostile jungle, really overgrown. It was very, very famous at one point for holding the treasure vaults of Zadabad. And But rumor has it that 50 years ago, or a generation or so ago, the treasure vaults were sundered. And that reminds me, I actually have a fluff piece here that I wrote to make fun of my buddy who wrote this product. And I will grab it here quickly for you. Or maybe not. So also what you guys can do is if you look, if you scroll down on the map past the island, you'll see the Porters Guild and a bar. All right, so you have tokens in there, and I will name these tokens for you. They're in the main room. So if you can see what I'm talking about, obviously people are not going to be able to see who are watching the game. They'll just get to see our lovely faces. But these are the characters that I had in the main room here, and then these are the NPCs that you can hire if you wish. These guys are all men-at-arms or a woman-at-arms, and this is a first level magic user. So these characters, normally when I run this game, I would have totally rolled rolls to see who these people were during the game. You know, I rolled it ahead of time to try and save us some time, just like I manufactured your characters for you. So, excuse me. So what you would want to do is if you wanted to hire any of these people, there's no mounts in Kalmatta because it's too difficult. You guys should be able to move all the characters. Off to the left, the Porters Guild are a couple. See, I randomly rolled these guys well. You have a torchbearer and a porter, Festus or Hingle, that you can hire to hold torches or carry stuff, but they won't fight. Whereas the man-at-arms would fight. It costs you money to hire these guys. Men-at-arms are a gold piece a day with a gold piece starter, and porters or torchbearers are 5 silver pieces.
Okay, so where are these at?
Here, I'll just do this.
Okay.
And for those of us not familiar with that system, I think 10 silver are a gold.
Oh,
yes,
that's where you are. Okay. Yeah, I went down to where the gray started from, like outside the map, because I'm used to the map kind of stopping at that point in Roll20.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I didn't realize you had them all the way down off the bottom. Okay.
All right.
Oh, cool.
So I guess I'll do this quickly. What do we have here? Fighter 2 is a character, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that Andre's character?
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So you guys should be able to, if you click on your token and then click on the gear, you should be able to change stuff. So what's your name, Andre? What's your character's name?
It's.
Oh man, I gotta come up with a name.
Should I write the name?
Yeah. You should be able to
Okay,
just
so-
put it right in the name there.
Yep, it worked for me. I called her Himby.
Oh, nice. So you guys do that while I find this thing that I've already should have had found.
No, that's perfect timing because I'm awful with names.
FantasyNameGenerators.com is right.
All right, here we go. All right, so if you guys came on the boat, you can see the docks off of the southwest side of the island. You can see mounds of dirt piled along like a rocky shore that are off to your left, and it doesn't take long to figure out that these are probably graves. Some of them more recent than others. And then, as you move into town, you can find looks like the main inn. And I'm just going to read this piece that someone who isn't a great writer wrote. All right. So the great bronze gate of the Black Pyramid was sundered, and the head priest of Shubanil was slain. His elephantine head was carried upon 2 boar spears by courageous bearers back here to Sindanor. Your angry approach kicks up dust, and children, faces obfuscated by the tatters of linen wraps covering every inch of their bodies, scamper from the storyteller seated cross-legged on the dusty porch of the inn's boardwalk. Welcome, travelers. Welcome to Sindanor, gateway to Kalmatta, the island of adventure. I can see by your faces you're confused by my stories. But yes, it is true, the treasure vaults of Zadabat have been plundered. But do not fret. Vast wealth lies hidden by the growth of decades, and much of the Zadabati lies undiscovered. Come, into the inn and prepare yourselves for travel. Get a good night's rest, for it is likely your last. All right, so there you go. There's a kind of a background of what's going on. The village buildings, some of them are wooden and have been here for a very long time. Other ones seem more recently structured with stone. Who knows where they got it from? Maybe other buildings that were in town. You see a pretty vast difference in the people. Many of the older people and some of the children wear these linen wraps all around their body, almost looking like, the Invisible Man or something like that. Some of them just wear bits of them, like for a headband or, wrapped around a sinewy bicep. But some people are even darker skinned than the mahogany folk that look to be natives, and they carry themselves with a haughty bearing, and you know them as Zaharan, which is the country that is nearby on the mainland, and supposedly they control Sindanor. They're also more heavily armed, and the Lord Leto is considered the leader of the town. And seems like there's two different groups that bear arms mostly, as either Lord Leto's men or some of the Sindanorans that used to be the guards before they came. The Black Guard is Lord Leto's men, and they are known to take a tithe of anyone who travels into the jungles of 25% of your gold. So, I guess, does everyone have their characters set up and who they are? So you can take your character and move it down to the Sindanor contingent, and then you can put your marching order there, basically, which is, who's in front and who's behind them. So on the house rules, there's a rule for reach. So if you have a spear, you can attack from the second line. So you might want to keep that in mind. Is anyone interested in hiring any man-at-arms or...
How much do they cost again?
It's 5 silver pieces for porters or torchbearers, and they're the guys in the Porters Guild to the left. And it's a gold piece a day for the men-at-arms. And Bursus, who is a first-level wizard, he gets a share of the treasure like a regular character.
Do we have a wizard otherwise?
I'm a magic user, so...
Okay, and so let's get that covered, Victor. When you play... Yes. A wizard gets, you can either choose one spell off the spell list, which there are 12 spells on there, or we can roll them randomly and you get 3 spells.
Oh, this is BX. Give me some random spells.
Okay. All right, why don't you roll, and if you roll the same number, then you get less spells. What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 15.
15. Okay, so that's a +1. So you can actually memorize 2 spells a day, and it can be the same spell if you only have 1. So just give me a 3d12. So you could easily do /R 3d12, or roll 3d12 in the dice thing or whatever. All right, so you rolled the same one twice, so you missed that spell. But it's Charm Person.
Oh, that's handy.
Charm Person and Light.
Yeah. So we do not need a torchbearer. Our wizard also is our torch.
Yeah. I'm a light.
Light spell.
I think for it might be worth having an extra border here for 5 silver piece a day. I'll hire Festus.
I was gonna say might not be a bad idea.
All right, so someone's trying to hire Festus. All right, he is a human torchbearer, and he has a dagger. He's actually been in a couple sojourns into Kalmatta before. So you would need to roll 2d6 in order to attempt to hire him. Like I say, the going rate is 5 silver pieces a day. If you choose to change that in any way, you're welcome to. You roll 2d6 and modify it by your charisma modifier.
Okay. What are we using to roll dice with?
Roll 20. So you would want to just roll /R space 2d6. The other slash. Sorry.
My charisma is +1, so can I just put that in now?
Yeah, you can just go /R space 2d6 +1.
Yep.
Perfect. An 8. Okay, so he seems interested in what you have to say. but he's not going to go for it quite yet. So basically, you could, I'm not going to hire you then, Festus, or you could try and sweeten the pot for him, or whatever. Like maybe buy him armor or whatever. It's up to you.
Well, Festus, what I can offer you is if we find any better equipment along the way, any weapons we find that we happen to give you to defend yourself, you'll be able to keep.
He says, that seems interesting. So now you can roll 2d6 and add your charisma modifier again and see what he says. I'll give you a +1, so you get +2. So you still have to do the /R. You can also push your arrow button up while your cursor is in the chat box, and it'll go to previous stuff that you've done. Okay, 5. All right, he's like, that isn't enough for me. I don't know who you are, but you're obviously new to here, and I'm not going with you. Anybody else want?
Festus,
Go
I wish you all the best of luck in your endeavors. Hopefully, pride won't be your downfall.
Well, I do appreciate that, but he turns back to his cups. Anyone else?
I'm so not charismatic, it's not funny, and I'm not really sure what I do as a cleric other than turn undead. I notice I've got a warhammer and armor, so...
Okay, what's your wisdom?
13.
That's a +1. So normally in BX, first level clerics do not get any spells, but in the house rules, you get your bonus, whatever your wisdom bonus is, in spells per day. So you'll get 1 spell. All right.
Okay. In the spirit of let's roll that random.
All right, it's a D8. You know what? The way clerics are, you can get any of the spells. You just choose which one you want. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
I also think healing might be the useful thing. So is there?
All right. So there is Cure Light Wounds, Detect Evil, Detect Magic, Light, Protection from Evil, Purify Food and Water, Remove Fear, and Resist Cold.
Most of
Cure Light
them
Wounds
sound familiar, but Cure Light Wounds seems like the no-brainer.
Okay, good. I think everyone else appreciates that.
Yep.
And while I'm jotting it down here, how does that work?
How does Cure Light Wounds work?
I spend an action at some time, I imagine, and then they're going to roll a die to see how many hit points that heals.
Yep, it's a D6 +1.
And that's just one action. I don't have to stand around for 10 minutes or something like that.
Nope, it's it goes very quickly. Yep, it's just one action. But that's pretty much really what you get. Go ahead. Sorry.
What's your name?
And
what's the cleric's name?
Arslan.
Arslan, maybe you could try to hire the porter here. You could promise to heal him if he gets injured. I'm sure that would bring down any going rates.
Does anyone have a better charisma than -1? I'll go with you and
I also have -1. I'm smart though.
I have 0. I have a 10 charisma. So
Yeah, mine's a 0 as well. So yeah.
I got the +1, but I already failed, so I feel like that's
okay. So
yeah, you can't hire him, but you could hire someone else if you chose.
yeah, I'm on board with the idea of a porter. That was what we were going for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll go along to offer to help, but I think one of the guys with a 0 at least might want to give it a shot before us -1s start making things worse.
I can go ahead and attempt that. What was it? 2d6?
Yeah, who are you talking to? Are you talking to Hingle or Festus?
Who did we not have luck with last time?
I struck that. Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
So-
go ahead. You
so
guys
I'll
should be able to
talk
role play
Hingle
if you want
then.
to.
Yeah.
Hingle looks like he's actually dressed in fairly nice clothes, but they're kind of tattered, and his breath smells strongly of wine.
Looks like he's in need of a job. So I will go over and offer him a job.
Okay,
So-
are you going to offer him just the 5 silver pieces a day, or do you have anything else?
If I offer him a little more than that, or how does that affect the roll? Does that give me a plus anything?
Yeah, it's totally arbitrary by whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
GM decides. So yeah, a lot of times like I'll give you a plus. So depending on what you do, like if you offer some crazy amount, or like you can even say, hey, we have a cleric with us, so maybe that will change his thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I'm a magic user, and I need to make sure that I've got somebody who can give me a hand carrying stuff, because that's always a challenge. And we do have a cleric in the group, so I will mention that to him, that he can rest assured be able to get back to home.
Okay, and what are you offering money wise? This 5 pieces, or
I'll go ahead and offer him 10.
a gold piece, or
yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So I'll give you a plus. I'll give you a +3. One for a wizard, one for a cleric, and one for increasing the bonus.
So it was 2d6.
Yep.
+3.
This is gonna be fun. Wow. He seems interested, and he's like, "Oh, a wizard and a cleric. Where is it that you plan on going?"
We're planning on heading over to the mainland, aren't we?
Yeah, there's a valuable diamond mine here on the island. It's cursed, but we're thinking here the cleric will get rid of the curse, and once the curse is gone, there'll be plenty of riches for all. I'm sure there'll be a bonus for you in it once that happens.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll give him a bonus. Yeah, that would definitely be a necessary thing. Diamond mines are great.
Diamond mine sounds interesting to this guy, so we'll see what he says here. All right, so you can roll again with a +4.
Out of 10.
All right, 10. All right, so he's like, all right, yeah, diamond mine. I'm totally down with that. Let's roll.
Cool.
All right, so you're in charge of taking care of him then. Ekor, is that how you pronounce it?
Ezor.
Or Ezor, I wrote the wrong thing. I wrote the right thing.
Ezor.
Just couldn't tell. Ezor. All right. Nice. Do you guys want men-at-arms or no?
Is anyone here looking like he has been around the inlands of Kalmatta? Like, is anyone knowledgeable about the region?
All right, so we're basically looking at the 3 men-at-arms to the top. You have Samson, Valela, and Peripi. Peripi he seems to be a little drunk and loud, but he seems like he's been through some fights before, so slightly experienced. Samson, he was actually on the boat with you. He has a Keldoran accent, and he has dark eyes. He has a spear and a dagger. And you have Valela, who also has a spear and a dagger. She's been rather haughty, and she seems to be leafing through some sort of book that she says is a journal of Bentil, who was a famous traveler that explored Kalmatta long ago.
Okay. I think Valela is a good choice for us, right?
Yeah. Let's ask Riffy if he actually was around the island already. You, young man, you look like you have been in some scraps in your time.
I've been everywhere, man. That's for sure.
Have you been in the jungles of Kalmatta already?
I was there once, and a giant lizard stormed through the jungle, and we dove into a hole near the Cinder Mounds. It was chaos.
Yes, but you get out alive, so that's something. But what can you tell me about what's just out of the barricades when you brought up town? Is there anything that will attack us right away, or do we have a few days march ahead before we meet the challenge?
He says the villagers won't leave without a large party, and sometimes they say they feel eyes watching them all along. So it's fairly dangerous for sure. Mahmood only allows the gates to be open during the day.
Yeah, sounds dangerous. But you don't get as old as I am as an adventurer without being courageous and making good choices. So, Prippy,
Hear to that, he says, and guzzles a big flagon.
so do we want to hire that guy, or do we want the book girl? He doesn't seem like he knows too much about the inlands, but he at least was there. I think the book girl seems useful, and even if she dies, we still have the book.
Oh, great.
Thinking practically.
I think they both have their uses here, but the book intrigues me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would want a gold piece a day, usually as men at arms, or what was the rate?
Yep, a gold piece a day is the going rate.
A gold piece, yeah.
Yeah, so we might need multiple days. So I guess we should just pick one. And
Yeah.
You can hire them both if you want to. There's no. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
your charisma is a limit. It tells you how many retainers you can have. But
yeah,
that reminds me, Victor, you should take away the gold piece right away because you pay them up front.
Yep.
no, I think we try Valela.
Okay, who's talking to her? Seems like you were, Andre. You gonna roll 2d6 and add your charisma modifier?
Okay.
Oh wait, I said wrong. Philip. Sorry, Philip.
Yeah,
Philip was talking to her. No,
Oh, okay.
I talked to Peripi before, but
that's right. Yeah, you didn't talk to her, Valela, so anyone can roll. It's okay either way.
Okay, so can I go there? So I'm talking to her. Should I roll now, or should I?
If you want to, unless you want to talk to her or try and sweeten the deal in any way, it's up to you. I'm pretty open in however you
No,
want to do it.
I'm okay with the deal. I don't think I have a good enough charisma to try to the deal. So,
All right. So,
what is the number I'm after here? I'm targeting with my roll.
Hi.
well,
So
you
do we know
need not really. You
Okay.
9. You need a 9 or higher, basically,
Okay.
for an acceptance.
Oh.
Himby seems reluctant to talk to her, though. So does anyone else? Oh, you were very close. She,
Yeah, well-
looks up from her journal and she's like, she seems a little haughty. Looks at the dwarf and turns her nose up a little bit. But she does seem interested in what you have to say.
Oh, please don't let my companion off-put you here. I'm Falcon. You understand when we're planning a contingent in there, we need every able-bodied. So despite some of their appearance, I assure you that they're all good people to have at your side. And we'd be happy to pay you slightly if you would be willing to join our expedition. We already have a healer in our group and a magic user. But you seem to be a scholar of some type, and I think the knowledge you have might be beneficial.
She has a spear with her, and she kind of knocks the spear on the floor, and she I would be interested in traveling with you, but I prefer to fight from the second ranks with my trusty spear. And perhaps if anyone had, even some heavy leathers that I could wear, it seems that my armor was lost and I had to sell it to get here.
None of the leathers I wear would fit you, but I will gladly fight before you. As a dwarf, you should be able to use your spear, while my sword is long enough to keep any foe away from you.
Yes.
She quirks an eyebrow at wonder if if there was some sort of double entendre there, but she goes ahead and listens to Falcon. Go ahead.
The dwarf is very short. I think you'll be able to fight over his head. I think
so
it's
you guys
the most
don't
beneficial plan.
So obviously you guys don't want to throw any more money in this Valela's way to buy some armor. So
how much is leather armor?
it's 20
I've
gold
got 8
pieces.
coins. 20.
Leather is 20. Yeah.
So is any one of you Layla's size?
Well, I'm a similar size, but I am not stripping down for her benefit right now.
Yeah.
So you guys
yeah,
can go
sure.
ahead.
Let's give armor to the NPCs. Yeah.
But
Good
if
play. No.
Valeda, if you come with us, you will wear the finest plate and chains like I do. You can see we are successful by the armor we are wearing.
So who wants to make the roll? You can make it again if you'd like, Andre, with a +3.
Oh, okay.
But you, or Philip, I mean, I think it sounds like Philip. I don't. Both of you guys are talking. Anyone can decide. I don't care. You just get a +3.
Is anyone's charisma better than mine?
Yeah, I'll roll.
Yeah.
I have a +1 bonus for my charisma, so I'm rolling 2d6 +4.
Yep. All right, nice. All right, so she actually seems very impressed with Falcon's the cut of his jib, and she get a +1 morale. So anyone who has an NPC, they have a morale, and it is defined by your charisma. I feel like you guys are done getting NPCs. Is that true?
Yeah. What was her name?
Okay. Valela.
And is that +1 in addition to my charisma bonus because of the high roll, or it's just a +1 because of the charisma? I guess
No, it's a
+2 or
+1 because of your high roll. The morale. So
Okay.
the morale that she has is, what's your charisma?
15.
What is your charisma? 15. All right. So your morale is normally an 8. So now it's a 9. So you can just write morale 9.
Okay.
So what that means is on 2d6, if it's that or under, she won't break morale. And I think someone else has an NPC.
Yep. Hingle.
Okay. And who is the character? What's the character's charisma?
Yeah, Ezor's got Hingle, and Ezor's charisma is 11.
11. All right. So Hingle's morale in this situation is 7. All right. This sounds cool.
Who's the
There
dwarf?
you go.
Who's the dwarf? Whoever the dwarf is. You want to put Valela right behind you in the marching order?
What's Hingle's health as well?
Hingle has 4 hit points.
Ooh, he's as robust as I am.
Yeah.
Well, if he dies, that's 1 gold.
Yeah.
5 hit points for Valela. No, they take their money that you give them and they sequester it here in town.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we got the marching order. Do we know where we're going or what we're doing?
Yeah, probably. Yes.
Yeah, I had a couple of rumors I was interested as well, but we can only sort of pick one thing at a time unless we want to split the party. But that's suicide. So
I got a little bit of rumor I'll share with everybody. I've had rumors that there's pictures in caves near Cinder Mountains, the Cinder Mounds, depicting hunched men riding bipedal lizards. I think we need to watch for bipedal lizards and be careful.
Yeah, we also told about lizards in that region, so I guess the danger is real. I heard about demonic boar haunting old Stockard near the valley of Chivonil, so if we are in the mood for bacon, that's the place we should go.
Well, bacon appeals to me. I was serious about that diamond mine. It's over near Bone Lake. I think with our fine friend here, what religion do you follow, anyways?
Yeah, and you can tempt a dwarf with a mine. I'm in.
Yeah, I
Were
think
you talking to Valela?
no, I was talking to the cleric. I'm trying to determine what faith they are.
that was what a coincidence. I was just looking that up.
You can just say like a saint of Christianity or whatever you want to do. I don't think we have to get into it too much here.
Okay.
But you can do whatever you want. I mean, I don't care.
I will pick a name to be a little bit in the name of this without being too on the nose.
Oh, well, that's good. You should be able to lift the curse, don't you think? No pressure.
If the curse is undead, maybe, but
Okay.
not gonna lie, I don't figure stuff out so good.
Well, is there
I have an
is there something we can buy to help you with the rituals, like holy water, candles, a symbol, something like that, so we can make preparations to break the curse? I'm sure your god will be with you, but it can't help to be prepared.
Well, let's find out what's there. Why don't we scout out the place near Bone Lake? And once it's, if we need to come back for additional supplies, we can make a second trip.
Yeah.
So do you guys have tents with you that could be useful if being out at night is dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
Valera, have you been out into the things? How far is the trek out to Bone Lake?
She hasn't been, but she does have a journal.
Is there any references in your journal about this?
All right, so I'm going to send you guys over to the other map so you can kind of get an idea of what the heck it looks like.
Okay.
So these are 1 mile hexes. Let me see here. See what the old journal has in store for us.
So this is like the coastline we kind of went along until we got to the little village here.
Yeah, I don't have the coastline that you came in. It would be this way.
Oh, okay.
This way, many miles that way. Okay. This is where this party thing is. This is you guys.
Yep. I saw that.
And this is Sindanoi right here. Like this map, we'll say, is like etched onto one of the tables in the inn, and so it's just lines and stuff, but you can see that there's like these strange symbols, like it just says ruin, or it'll say like cave at low tide. This is watchtower.
Yep.
Ruins.
Can we buy paper and mapping supplies in town?
Okay, some of that stuff is going to be difficult to come by, but I don't know who you're at. Who is someone specific?
It's worth getting some mapping supplies before we head out. That's a smart move.
So we don't have to take the table with us, and even if I'm
even if it would make a good shield.
Yeah, and even if I'm smart, I don't want to trust on me memorizing the map if we can just do a sketch.
Yeah, let's.
All right, so you want to buy that? We'll just say you have 5 gold pieces for that.
Do we want to pool, or should I just pay all the money?
I was going to say I'll chip in 3 for it.
And we'll reimburse you guys for any out of any profits before we split them.
Okay.
Yep, I throw in just 5, then I throw in 2.
Sure. So we got mapping supplies.
Yep.
Okay, so who's going to carry the mapping supplies? Because we don't want to give the extras as supplies.
Yep.
Because we could lose those.
I think I'm smart, and I'm capable of drawing a map, so I would do that.
Cool.
All right, so Valela is leafing through her journal, and she finds this. All right, it doesn't really say. She says, "I don't see anything about a diamond mine specifically, but this lake is Bone Lake, from what I can tell."
Okay. Does anything else kind of stick out as to, like, what's this with the X over on the one side? Is that place got a name, or do these mountains have a name, or?
Nope.
No, nothing. Ugh.
And that lake, we don't really know where that is on this continent, right? I'm not seeing a lake.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to do some wilderness trekking for a little while. Yeah. But there is a mountain. So once we get out there a ways, if we should be looking for that at least. Sticking up in the woods.
there seem to be some characteristic peaks that we might be able to make out, and then just walk towards. Anyone able to make sense of the runes drawn on the map?
I was gonna say, is that something I can see if I can puzzle out? What those runes or markings might be?
This is Ezor trying to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Roll a d20
Okay.
and try and get it under. You want a low roll.
Okay.
The dwarf can make a d20 as well because he's
Okay.
pretty sure they're dwarven. That's pretty good. What's your intelligence, Ezor?
Mine is 15.
15. Okay, you go ahead and roll. All right, both of them are good. Both of you guys piece some information out of this. You're pretty sure that the runes are dwarven, but it isn't like a current dwarven. It's maybe a lost dwarven language because one of them is the symbol for brittle beards.
Okay.
And the dwarf Himby is aware that the brittle beards were a lost vault, is what they're called. So they were lost, and it's possible that maybe Kalmatta is the island that they had traveled to and then or then never heard from again.
Whoever heard of dwarves traveling to an island?
Yeah, it's that's one of that's why dark legends are built around them, and their name is seldom spoken. But I'm sure they took great riches with them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If there's a mine,
it is yeah, they were said to like you say, all those things are accurate, and you feel like the symbol is some sort of tomb for someone. And it's very possible that's what the X is on this map.
Yeah, this might be the tomb for a great dwarven king or queen with all the riches.
Okay.
And of course, if it was built by dwarves, it would stand the time. We might get lucky yet.
The map, at least the name at the bottom of the map found at God's Hollows. Do we know where that is?
No, that's not according to the journal. From what she comes up with, she's not sure what that is.
So somehow the map got passed down or passed to her.
To whoever did this journal, and then she has the journal, and that's where the map is.
Okay. Well, let's Now the stuff that's revealed on the map, that's stuff that we have an idea of. So even those mountain peaks out there in the distance, can we see those from where we're at, or do we have to travel a ways before we can see those?
No, you can see those. Like the mountain peaks and some of the different areas of the map are visible.
So you can see high enough. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we know what some of these icons are, like this thing, or
that's ruins.
It's just basically ruins.
Okay.
You're not sure what that is.
I'm wondering if the two mountains, the one on the north side of the lake and the one on the south side of the lake on the map, are these two mountains here on the.
Yeah,
that's them, and we should be heading across towards the maybe follow this northern route over here.
I can tell you some more things, I guess, when you asked about the map. This is the Cinder Mounds.
Okay.
This men here is the Cinder Mounds, and then this area here says Canyon of Doors.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Yeah, is there someone who's providing like boat services up the river?
Oh, we could look at that, or at least see if we can get a boat from somebody.
Yep. Or if nothing else helps, we could just walk out into the forest and create a raft. But following the river would be a good way to get up to those two mountains and the way back would be even easier because then we are going with the current.
So are these hills over here still part of those cinder mounds?
No.
Okay. Okay.
The Cinder Mounds is like a 3-mile area or so.
Okay. So it's not a huge area. Okay. Cool. Yeah. We've got 2 options more or less. Take the river if we can get a boat, or make a boat, or hike through the jungle. I think the river may be easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have heard that there's a fisherman that has retired, and he fashions boats for adventurers.
Great
Okay.
guy.
His name is
Let's
Karini.
talk to this guy. Okay, let's find this guy.
Yep.
I'm a dwarf and know nothing of boats. You people find out if it's a good boat, and I want a good boat, and then you convince him his boat isn't so good after all, and pay him as little money as possible.
I like your tactics.
Oh yeah, getting retired guys to do what they've done all their life is totally easy to do on the cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, it's not like we're asking him to fish.
True.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's find him.
I have a water cooler here. I'm not taking a pee on y'all.
All right, let's just see if we can find Karini. If not, let's just get started.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the boat will either take a lot of time or money, and I'm okay with checking around and looking around. But
If it looks like it's going to be too costly, we can walk along the side of the river though too. So
Well, let's just start. Let's start heading out. If we see Karini, we will stop and ask him.
It's not hard for you guys to get directions to Karimi's hut.
Okay, so let's go to Karimi's hut. Maybe we can get generous terms on a lease plan.
got any of them like
a low mileage lease plan?
Yeah, we got low mileage. We're not going to do a whole lot of miles on this. So.
No. As long as he doesn't require insurance, we're good.
Yep.
All right, so who's talking to him?
Oh, hi there, man. The word around town here is that you have some boats for hire.
Another crazy adventurer headed into the wilds of Kalmatta.
Well,
These boats take me a long time to make, and I don't expect you to return.
Well, you're not being very encouraging here, but my name is Falcon, and I believe in a positive attitude here. What are the terms you usually...
Get eaten by the crocodiles for all I care.
Well, even so, I would hope that the boat would float back downriver and you'd be able to reclaim it.
Yeah, he's got a good setup here.
So, what are you looking for in terms if we could rent one of your boats?
All right. Hold it one moment as the GM looks up the price quick. All right. It's he goes. Well, why don't you go ahead and roll your reaction? So 2d6 plus your charisma bonus.
while you're looking up prices for things, 1 week of rations for a long trek doesn't sound like a whole lot. Is 8 quite enough to get some more?
These are 1 mile hexes, so it seems like maybe you're going a long ways, but you could actually travel normally like 18 of these in a day. So,
or maybe for
depending if it's jungle, then it's half or whatever.
Yeah,
so you can travel pretty far.
So a week is fine, but I think we could use tools if we are going into a mine, like at least a hatchet to cut down trees if we need wood, and maybe a pickaxe or a hammer to break stuff. That both could be useful.
Yeah, Someone also mentioned a tent, and I like being comfortable and dry. I don't think anyone else started with a tent.
No, I think it'd be a good idea to. I mean, we're what jungle environment here, so yeah, we probably do want tents for like at least to deal with mosquitoes and rain and all that crap.
Yeah.
And I lost my tent in the divorce, so.
You know, you guys are acting like you're luxurious expert characters, but this is only basic. You gotta fight. You gotta.
Let's just take the boat out. We'll plan on being back this evening.
Risk life
or
and
the
limb
next
before
day.
you can afford any of that stuff. Well, I mean, you can try. I mean, I'll look it up and find it. I don't care, but or I'll make up some price. All right. So he looks at you and he's like, shakes his head, looking over the group, and he kind of walks by. He's got a couple boats sitting here, and then he kind of goes to this other one that it looks like maybe it's a little shoddy or workmanship, and you can see it looks like some apprentice is like lurking around the hut near the back, carrying some wood around, and he's like, "Here, you can take this for 20 gold."
So it just needs a paint job, right? Is that?
Oh
it?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Will it fit all of us?
Yep.
And I assume that's a 20 gold deposit, so we will get half that back when we return the boat.
Oh, we can just
He kind
sell
of
the
looks
boat.
down his long, skinny nose at you. Sure.
Or we sell the boat to the next party.
Yep. He's sure we're not coming back. So.
Do we? Quick system question: how much faster can we move in the boat?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. I'll throw down. Well, let's see. I don't have a whole. I can put 3 gold in.
Yep, I could put it. Like it's 20. So
Say 20. I'll throw 5 in.
I throw 2.
Yeah, 4 seems like a fair share. And
yeah, for,
that's half my gold.
I throw 4. So, do we have enough then? Let's draw it out.
Was anyone keeping track?
No.
All right. Let's start at the top. I'm putting in 3 gold. Who's next?
I'm putting 2.
I got 5. We're at 10 so far.
We're at 10.
Yep.
4 for me.
So if
I was gonna say we're going into the jungle. I don't expect to really buy much of anything in the jungle.
yeah. So if so
Actually, I
we
can make 5 and someone else makes it 5, and we'll be okay.
yeah, sure. I throw 5.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 of you guys put 5 because so we'll give him the 20 gold on the agreement. We can sell the boat back to him for 10 when we return.
Yeah, we see this little crowd of adventurers all getting together and chipping in change to get this boat.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's like when you're in high school and you have to divvy up the bill at the restaurant.
Yep. You do that, and then one person turns around and goes off and pays him.
Yep.
So now we should buy
So-
more rations as well, right?
I think we have a week's worth of rations. We're good for now.
Yep. We could go for the tents, or we could go for tools.
I mean, right now I think we can sleep under the boat. So I vote. Let's just get going.
Is there? Do you have a price, Jason, for tools like a hatchet or a hammer or something like that, or would that be?
Sure. Yeah, like mining type tools or something.
Yep. Or yeah.
I think he's looking for jungle. Are you looking for like jungle clearing?
I'm
tools?
looking for like a hatchet to cut down wood if we need it to build something or overcome some challenges, and a hammer or a pickaxe to do
To get those
to do some
diamonds.
clearing up once we hit the mine.
Definitely pickaxe. I've got a warhammer, which will probably work in a pinch. I mean, it's not a specialized sledge, but I agree. Hatchet and pickaxe seems like no-brainer. Pick those up and
Maybe grab a machete
Right.
instead of a hatchet because of the jungle.
We could say 5 gold for some jungle clearing and soft mining tools.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So each of us throws in 1 gold, and we get the tools.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll throw in 1 gold.
Perfect.
And who's going to be carrying some tools? I've got a hand free because I don't have a shield. I got holy symbol.
You look sturdy there, dwarf. You mind if we put these in your pack?
Well, we've got Hingle. I mean,
Yeah, we are paying Hingle to carry our stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I've never played with a porter before, so.
and he's being paid well, so he shouldn't have too much of a problem carrying some of this stuff.
It's
Bingo.
single
I'm a
armed.
torchbearer, not a porter. No, I'm just kidding.
It's single armed.
It's daylight out. We don't need a torch at the moment.
Yeah, you do what you're paid for. But yeah, is he armed? Does he have a weapon?
He has a dagger.
Okay, yeah. I could give him a spare dagger too, but if he has one, then I don't.
I think we're probably good.
Yep, I'm fine with.
Does anyone have a bow or something like that? Maybe we could need to hunt in the jungle.
Well, I think we have plenty of food for now. Let's just find this mine.
I think we're good to head in.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
And bows tend to be expensive, so we're all out of money. We're all like scraping by with. I think I'm at 2. I'm pretty sure everyone else is at like less at a small handful. So
Yeah, I have 1 gold.
yeah. So
Left.
Yeah, let's make some money.
pack them up, move them out.
I didn't remember changing you guys. Oh shit! I see why I'm screwed up. I'm on the wrong flipping map. Oh boy. Here we go. All right. So this is the map, and why don't you guys pick one guy to be kind of the caller, and he's the one who is saying what's going on. You don't have to do whatever he says, but instead of everyone kind of going over it all at once, you guys can talk about yourself. But when he tells me what you guys are doing, that's what you're doing. Okay? You guys have somebody in mind? No.
Who's the wizard?
Victor?
I'm the magic user. Yep.
All right, Victor. You cool being the caller?
I can be.
Awesome.
That's a yes. All right, so what's the plan, Victor? You guys are jumping in your boat that no one really knows how to use or anything, and you guys are heading up this jungle river, right?
Oh, it's just a boat. It'll be it'll be easy to figure out. I mean,
That's right.
The river only goes one direction, so we're not going to get lost. Sure.
All right, so who is trying to control the boat?
I think we need our strongest men controlling the boat.
Yeah, maybe me.
Strongest or most dexterous?
Or well, I have an okay dexterity and a sort of good strength. I have a +1 in strength, a 13.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm mediocre in both.
All right, so Hayron is going to control the boat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like
All right.
plan. Yep.
Sounds good to me. All right, so you guys can travel a fair distance on the boat. Actually, you can travel faster in the river, even upstream, than you can in the jungle. So
Yeah.
So you can travel 18 hexes at a perfect time. All right, so what I want, Hayron needs to roll a D20, and you can modify it by your best modifier. You want to roll low, okay?
Low. So
Slash
I want
R
to roll low.
space 1D20. Yep.
Okay. But if I want to roll low, I should add my worst modifier, right?
No, you're trying to roll.
I'll
under
just add
your
the
attribute.
modifier to the target number. Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry about it. Just make a roll and then tell me what
Okay.
your best modifier is. Okay, that's probably not that good.
Yeah.
All right, so it seems that Hayron has some difficulties moving the boat, and you think.
Sorry, guys, I never did this before. We didn't have many rivers back there where I'm from.
All right, but he's doing his best, and you guys are keeping a close eye. It's super humid. Occasional rains just kind of flash through the jungle and are gone as fast as they come. There's sounds everywhere. It doesn't take you long to get relatively used to these sounds. But there is one particular location that it seems kind of wider, and it's moving fairly fast, and it's kind of curvy. And Heron is attempting to maneuver the boat along this area. All right. And so I usually have one person that is the initiative roller. So who is that, Victor? Who's going to be the initiative person?
Now, initiative is what, D6?
It's a D6, yeah. It's a D6, and then everyone can apply their dex modifier to that D6 and then go somewhere in the round. I'm going to roll one die. You're going to roll one die. The initiative guy is. If anything happens initiative-wise.
I was going to say, do any of you want to be initiative roller, or do you want me to just go ahead and do that?
Sure. Why not do that? Why don't you do that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So what's everybody's dex modifiers? Because I'll just go ahead and scribble those down so I got them for reference.
My 0.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do the dex mod. Each person will do that. You'll make the roll, and then they'll do their own initiative.
Oh, okay. So
you'll see. It's very simple.
So they're using just the one die, and then they're adding their modifier on for where they're at. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? You like that?
No, that works. That's easy. So you want me to roll a d6 at the moment?
What I want to do is I got to get.
Sure.
We're about to have some excitement. It looks like we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume that you guys are kind of in the boat as your
cruising through.
Yeah, as your marching order is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from the way we had it on the other map. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Nice. So most of the time, I have no idea what people are going to do or anything like that. So I just make everything up as I go. And sometimes it takes a little longer.
No problem.
You might like with certain things.
No, totally get it. It's making me feel a little bit better because sometimes I'm apprehensive about these things. And for some reason, the time doesn't seem to drag out as long when you're at a table face to face. But just the silence of the hangout, I know, is sometimes deafening.
Yeah.
There's that, and then when everybody starts talking all at once on the hangout, it's not the same as sitting at the table where you can still hear everybody.
That's totally true.
One of the tips that was in Rich and Lowell's sort of GMing advice for transitioning to hangouts to doing online gaming is that a thing that you can do as the GM is like sometimes there's going to be questions you just want to throw out to the table, but if you can, try to just think of one player or character to address the character.
Target a player. Yeah.
Suggest.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they'll turn it around and be like, maybe I think like someone else would be better for this or something, but usually they'll go with it.
Yeah, that's very good advice.
That's the way a lot of the Powered by the Apocalypse stuff works. It's very call the player on a question and have them kind of fill in an answer for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was kind of working on something, so I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
Even better.
I don't know if you were trying to tell
That's
me
fine.
I should have been doing something, but
As long as we're not dying on the river yet, we're good.
More just general advice. You can catch it later if you watch it sometime.
oh yeah, that's right. We're recording this. See, this is so weird for me.
Yeah, you're all set.
Oh yeah, Rich loves it, and I can't wait to start getting more in the habit because I know sometimes you'll forget what some things that the players mention or give you, or you have these interesting moments, and you want to go back to exactly how they said something or find a missing.
Where they threw out something that you can use later for something that you're going to ambush them with. It's always fun.
Yep.
What was okay? I'll listen to it. Yeah, we don't have to
Okay.
We are on a boat.
go over it now.
Man,
Yeah, what do you guys
absolutely.
think?
I think I should see that my perception check because I see that crocodile.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that
right.
gator float.
It's a gator floating in the river.
Is it an undead gator?
I
Do you
hope
want it to be?
not.
All right. So as Heron is kind of traversing through these rocks, Why don't we can have the two guys in the front go ahead, pick one of those guys, and why don't you just do it? This will be the initiative guy. Will roll this too. Roll a d6.
Okay.
This is for surprise and BX. If you get a 1 or a 2, you're surprised.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me that.
If you would have hired Carrippy, since he fights better, he gets a +1 when he's drunk, but he also makes the party be surprised on a 1 to a 3.
Oh,
All right, so you guys are, you're getting pissed at Hayron because he can't seem to make this boat go, but no one else really wants to do it either. So you guys are all kind of looking around, and you kind of feel some funny bumps on the boat. And like a tail comes by, and it looks like Falcon. Is this Falcon?
Yep.
Yeah. Falcon actually spots this massive crocodile crash into the side of the boat. All right.
Avoid the crocodile, Heron.
It's a giant crocodile. This crocodile is easy as long. Is 15 feet long to 20 feet long, just its body. So it's big. And why don't everyone roll? And if anyone gets a 1 or a 2, they fall out of the boat.
D6.
No, D20. D20.
D20.
Yeah.
That would have been
10% chance.
Would have been rough.
Yay!
Wow! Wow!
No, Azor.
So the magic user gets all tangled up in his robes, turns the wrong direction, the boat gets bumped, and he lands in the water.
All right, so yeah, the boat gets shifted around, and Azor, you have to roll for your henchman if you have one.
Oh. Yay. Oh, well, he's perfectly fine. So Hingle's in the boat still. Yep.
Well, you can always play Hingle if you die.
That's true.
So,
Maybe.
Valaria's good too.
all right. So the wizard Azor lets out a shout, tangled in his robes, and falls into the boat with falls into the water with a large splash. So let's roll initiative now. Get a 6.
That was just the one initiative guy, or
Yep,
we all,
just initiative guy. So a 3. So if you have a dex bonus, whatever your dex bonus is, you can add to that 3, and then that's when you would go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do our
Does anyone beat a 6?
no? Do our henchmen go on our turn?
Yeah, your henchmen go on your turn. Exactly.
Okay.
You're good at this.
That works. Nope, I got a 3. That's the best I can do with the 3.
All right, so you guys can kind of see the crocodile is kind of shifting around the boat, and you can feel him rub along you as you're kind of deciding what you're trying to do, Azor. So whoever goes next after a 6, counting down, can go.
I have a 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna beat a 4.
is it so? We all use that 3, and then we add our dex on that.
Yes.
Got nothing in the dex category.
All right, so who had the 4?
I did.
James?
I was
Falcon? I
Yeah.
just write +1 in it so I know in the future. Does anyone else have a dex bonus?
Dope.
Nope.
All right, does anyone have a dex minus penalty?
Nope.
All right,
No,
guys.
I'm a 0. Yeah.
So
Alright,
is
so
part
cool.
of this is part of the crocodile exposed up above the water?
Sure.
Are we leaving the wizard as bait, or are we attacking?
No.
What are you doing? It's your turn. You can decide what you want to do.
My turn. All right, I'm gonna hurl a sling bullet at it.
Okay.
Hit it with the rock.
So I roll a d20. Is that right?
Yeah, roll a d20 and add your agility modifier.
Sorry, just looking up the modifier. All right.
It's the same, +1.
+1. All right, I got an 8.
All right, so your sling stone, hits the water, and you're not sure if it affects the giant crocodile at this point. Who else is
Valeria,
up?
stab it.
You guys can. Oh yeah, she can go.
Yeah, she's gonna try to stab it with the spear. So she's gonna try to launch it to the water.
She doesn't have to throw it. She can just stab from her location.
Yep.
That misses as well. Who else?
You're gonna kill me here, people.
it wasn't. It didn't
So
fight
he's-
you at first.
Yeah. So who? I've got a 3. So who else is going before me? Because my aim is to get out of the water, either into the boat or on the shore. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
maybe Hilge can reach out to the
Yeah, that's
magic
true.
user and pull him on board.
Yeah, Hingle.
Who's
I'm on your
Batman?
side. Yeah, I think it makes
Yeah, it
sense.
looks
And I yell at Falcon. I yell at Falcon. But get him out of the water! Don't piss the thing off! And I'll hold on to the block of my hammer and hand out
Stick
the
the handle out. Okay.
part for you to grab.
Okay. So we'll try that. I'm gonna grab the handle and try to hoist myself back into the boat.
All right, so you can use from the aid. I'll give you a +3, and you can use either strength or dexterity, whichever you're better at. And you need we'll say you need a 10 because you're not really a boaty guy.
Okay.
And if
Can I
you roll
help them? Because
I gave
Can
him
I
a +3 for your help.
Okay. And this is what, a
D20. All right, and you did a 10, but if you roll a 1, then you're going to tip the boat over.
Okay, that's good. Tell me that before I roll it. That works.
Put some stakes
okay.
into it.
All right,
wanna see the look.
so it looks like Ezor and Arslan. Is that right? Charles, I haven't heard you talk much, man. I need to get you involved in this game a little, don't I?
Well, it's all right.
All right. All right, so you two successfully. All right, sorry, go ahead. You two successfully maneuver the water, and with the aid of Saint Charles, I know he's Saint what?
Zagzagal.
Zagzagal. Or with
Zagzagal
the-
the all-knowing.
All right. With Zagzagal, the All-Knowing's blessing, you get Ezor back into this awesome boat. All right, is anybody else doing anything? Hey, Ron?
Can I try to move the boat away from the thing?
Absolutely, that's a good idea. Why don't you try to do that? So, whatever your best modifier is, if you get a 10 or higher, then you have succeeded in moving the boat away.
Should I roll 2d6 or the
D20.
20?
Yep. So I switch sometimes back and forth between roll under or a target number. So.
Okay. So I got a 17.
All right. So yeah. So all of a sudden,
an 18 because of my best modifier.
What is your best modifier?
It's strength +1.
Strength. All right. So even though Heron's been having difficulties thus far getting this far into the island or along the river, whatever happens, he pushes off with some of these stones, and with his great strength, he propels you guys upriver away from the alligator or crocodile, whichever. I'm never sure which is which. Does that leave anybody else? Philip? Himby?
So
What's Himby doing?
Trying to help moving the boat, I guess. I don't think I want to throw anything at the alligator. So
Okay, so
That's not-
you're cheering him on with some morale. All right, so what you do spot is as you're helping him move along the boat, it looks like you've kind of moved past the crocodile, but you do see this area that's kind of heavy foliage over here where you can see some bones, and it looks like of skeletons, like in different types of armor, maybe like bits of tattered cloth. Looks like you can see them down inside this little cove off the side.
Do the armor look good?
Well, I mean, you're on a boat and you're about 60 feet away, and you're in heavy foliage and trying to row upriver. So, no, it didn't look like it was shining in perfect condition. If you were curious about that.
Okay.
We knew
Whatever.
this is a dangerous
Looks
place.
interesting. Let's go check it out.
There could be.
Sure.
It looks like the crocodile's victims, so that they may have brought some other treasure.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't get greedy here. The crocodile is just feet away
Just
from
over
us.
there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Zagzagal will protect us from the crocodile.
Oh, well, then that changes everything. If Zagzagal thinks it's a good idea.
All right. So, hey, oh yeah, caller? What are we doing?
Okay, I think we'll go ahead and check that out. We'll pull over as far as we can to the edge there, kind of down in this area.
Okay, you can get into the area if you want to push through the foliage. You could try and get the boat into there if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it in there as far as we can and see what's on these dead bodies.
All right, so Hayron pilots the boat inside.
I don't think we should pilot inside.
I think we should be keeping an eye on the alligator or whatever it is. So getting too close, we can yell.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So somebody have a quick look at what's in the water here, and do we?
All right, well, I heard someone say you
didn't. Do we need
you
to get
didn't
out
want
of
to pilot the boat inside? Which you want
Yeah,
to do?
I think we should stop a little right at the entrance of this alcove. I don't know what's the name.
So kind of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's better that way.
Okay. That's cool.
All right, so Himby, Valela, Hingle, and Hayron, you're watching for the crocodile, or are you trying to inspect the cove?
No, I'm watching for the crocodile.
All right, well, those three that I named off, you can roll d6s.
You said Hingle?
Yep, Hingle, Valela, and Himby.
That's for Hingle.
So what do I need to roll?
Just a d6.
Valela got a 1.
All right, I don't know where Valela is, but...
Oh, I thought that was the one you set off.
No, I did, but I don't know what happened to the token.
Where'd her token go? Yeah, did someone accidentally hit the delete key or something? I don't know if that's a thing.
So maybe she's covered by something. Is she back at the crocodiles? No.
She's in the river somewhere.
Under the boat, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's gone. Doesn't really. Hopefully, it won't matter. We'll just go from here. All right. So Valela actually looks like she spots a heavy knapsack tucked back in here farther on a skeleton. It looked at one point. It looked like it was wearing a fairly nice robe with some kind of weird, archaic or arcane symbols on it.
How deep is the pack? I'm sure someone needs to jump out of the boat to swim down and get it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to move into this area in here.
Well, if you guys stay here, I'll move in and try to grab this app.
Valea was also looking for some extra armor, right? I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Valela, why didn't you grab that?
I mean, you could go together. It's nice to have a hand in case something happens. And she was on the lookout for her own armor, so might find something.
All right, Valela and I will move into the lagoon to try to grab the knapsack.
Okay, so you guys jump out of the boat?
Yep.
All right.
Just for the record, I'm leaving my backpack in the boat, so
okay.
I only have my dagger with me. The rest of my gear is not with me.
We will
Okay.
appreciate it if you die.
So you have leather armor on? Don't you have leather armor on, or?
Yeah. Is that how heavy is that? I might have had to take it off if I plan on swinging.
Well, it's every AC point it gives you is a round. That's how long it takes to take off.
Okay, I'm just leave it on.
All right.
So I'm wearing leather armor and I have my dagger.
All right, this is exciting. I'm getting the Valela token because I don't know what happened to it.
Yep.
See, this is one of the things, I don't know if you guys watched the panel I was on, but I kind of talked about when you're running a game online and you have a lot of stuff like this. I personally like the tactile feeling of it, but at the same time, it takes a little time to mess around with the tokens. So I never know exactly which is better or which is worse.
Yeah.
All right. So as Valela and Falcon jump out of the boat, you kind of submerge yourself in the river, but you can grab vines and stuff, and it's fairly easily, you can move into this lagoon and you can pull yourself along, but you're not touching the bottom. And you see this skeleton that Valela spotted with this pack that seems like it's in remarkably good shape for being in the middle of a lagoon in a very rainy jungle. All right, and just as you guys reach it, Hayron is like, "Oh, the crocodile!" And it's seems like it's coming towards its possible lair fairly quickly. All right.
Can I maybe cast light on its eyes or something and blind it? Is that possible?
Yeah. What we're gonna do is, yep, that is. What we'll do is we'll roll initiative and we'll go from there.
Cool. Oh, we got better initiative this time.
All right, so you guys go first, and it looks like Falcon could go. Falcon and his henchman Valela.
All right. Did you guys call out that you guys yelled out that it was coming? Are we aware of it?
Hayron did.
Okay, so we're gonna try to. Falcon's gonna sort of keep watch here. Valela's gonna go under the water to try to grab the pack.
It doesn't have to go underwater. It's just kind of washed up along the shore right here on the side of the lagoon.
So we're gonna
grab the pack.
Yeah, we're gonna sort of sprint to the shore and grab the pack and then get on the shore.
Okay, that's no problem. All right, who wants to go? We can start with Charles. Arslan, what is Arslan going to do?
All right, I'm gonna, I guess, just line myself up for a shot, I think, here, and move across the boat and see if I can bonk it on the head.
Love it.
This isn't perfect, so I'm not going to get that crazy about positioning. If you say you want to attack it with your melee from the boat, you can do that.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll go ahead. The fictional consequence of something bad could be I, go a little get too much momentum and now I'm fall out of the boat or something. So that's a D20?
Yep, D20, and then you can use your strength modifier.
Strength is 0. So.
Okay, so no modifier.
And since you kind of switch on stuff, I don't really know. I forget when high is good and low is good.
Combat high is always good. So you take a hefty swing at, you shift around in the boat. It's rocking wildly, and you whack him. So you can go ahead and roll damage. And did it have a damage on there for it?
No. It just says Warhammer.
I think it is D4, D6.
Awesome.
Matt, yeah, so you take a healthy blast into and blood is now blood in the river. Who's next? Let's go Himby.
The guys are at the knapsack already and coming back, or where are they?
Move up.
It looks like they kind of have. You can barely see them through all the jungle foliage and hanging vines, but you can see them moving around. It looks like they might be on a shore on the other side of the little lagoon.
Okay, yeah. I just lift my sword and try to stab the crocodile with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, 16.
nice.
That seems feasible.
That's a hit.
Yeah. What damage does my two-handed sword do?
D10.
Sounds good as well. 5.
All right, so yeah, you take a hefty swipe on it, stabbing down into the water, and more blood, and kind of, mouth pops open, and it eyes all crazy at you. But it doesn't seem like it's quite dead at this point. Izor?
Okay.
Or
I think instead of using the spell up at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and stab it with a dagger because I've got my dagger.
okay.
So 14.
14 actually hits.
Ooh, nice. What's dagger damage? D4?
D4. Yep. Modified by your strength.
Yeah, it's a D4. At least it's not modified down, so I'm happy.
3 points. All
So
right.
3
This
points.
crocodile is thrashing. Everyone's moving around on the boat.
Everybody's-
Being very successful in combat, though, so maybe you guys should just always carry this boat around with you when you fight.
Yeah.
It's the magical boat part of unity.
charm. Yeah. Why do you guys carry a boat around all the time? Well, we're still alive.
All right. So in the thrashing of the crocodile, it kind of turns on its side and shifts around, and the tail smashes into the back of the boat. So all that's going to happen in this situation is Heron needs to make a saving throw to not be capsized out of the boat.
Okay. Which saving throw should I use here?
12 death save. So you need a 12.
Okay.
And that's a roll under or
20.
a roll over?
Nope. He needs a 12 or higher.
12 or higher.
We're using the abstract saving throw, which is a pretty crazy mini game in BX and Dungeons and Dragons until very recently, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
all right, no problem. Aaron,
Oh.
Aaron, other than that one time, controlling the boat badly earlier today, he seems right on top of everything. All right, so his back is to you now, the crocodile, and it looks like it's going to be taking off. So initiative.
Okay.
All right, so you won. So you go. Let's start with Falcon and Valela. What are you guys going to do? You guys are on the side here.
Yeah, we're going to make our way sort of back towards the river to the boat, but we want to meet up with them upstream a little bit.
Okay.
So towards the edge of the map, then you head that direction.
So, yeah, well, we'll move sort of. We want to meet up with you, like, I don't know, up there, but a little.
So you're carrying this satchel that you saw. Why don't you roll 2d6, James? All right, so Falcon, actually, as you're moving away, you see that there does look like there's other remains and bits of coin or rusted weapons that are all around. It does look like maybe this lagoon could possibly have been the lair of that crocodile, and he's caught other humans, adventurers moving around.
Okay.
Do you still want to leave?
Do I still want to leave? Yeah, I want to meet up with the group. I'm going to tell them that information, but
Okay.
But I want to discuss with them in person before we decide what to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's go backwards this time. Hey, Ron, what's he doing?
Can I grab because I don't think I have my sword in my hands, right?
Oh, you used it last time in your fight, right? When you attacked, or did you not attack?
Yeah, I think
No,
you
no,
attacked.
I was piloting the boat only. Okay, so
Oh,
can
okay.
I
Yeah. Oh, so
get-
maybe I never gave you a
can
turn. Sorry. Yeah, you can drop the oar and
Okay.
whip your sword out and attack. That's fine with me.
Okay, so I'm doing that. Do I add my modifier for strength?
Yeah, roll a d20 and add your strength modifier for you want a high roll in combat.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, you try to attack it, but all the thrashing is it made it difficult to hit. So Izor,
Well, I am going to do similar and use my dagger like I did the last time.
All right.
Wasn't the croc
Miss.
swimming away, or did he come back again? Did I miss
Nope,
that?
he is. He's trying to leave, but it's just
He
the
hasn't
abstractness of
gotten away
combat.
yet.
So if you guys want initiative, so it hasn't gotten away yet.
Yep. So I missed.
I kind of, in fact, picture the boat maybe being sideways now to where the crocodile is. So all you guys are just like along the side, stabbing down at it like
Yeah, we are broadsiding the
Captain
crocodile.
Ahab or something.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So Himby,
Yep. The crocodile is still alive, which means I need to do more stabbing.
good. Get her done, son.
Yeah, once roll 20 allows me to roll, I will do that. At the moment, it seems kind of frozen. Yeah, now there it is. Oh, not. Yeah, roll 20 seems slow for me. Can somebody roll
You want me just to roll for you?
till my computer catches up with
Missed. Sorry.
No,
All right,
happens.
so Arslan. Oh, you never did cast the light though, Victor. I thought you were going to cast
No,
light on
I
his eyes.
was thinking about it, but nah, I'm holding off on that. I don't want
right.
to lose a memorized spell at the moment.
All right, Charles.
The dagger worked last time, so
Yeah, in the theme of clerics being sort of violent only in necessity, if it's heading away, I'm gonna leave it be.
All right,
Let
that sounds good.
let it run.
All right, so it does take off, but whenever you're in melee, if you can withdraw or if you just flee from combat, then everyone that is in melee with it gets a free attack at +2. So why don't all you guys just roll a 20?
Yeah,
Whoever hits
this
it.
can only escape because my arms are too short.
Okay. So guys, you can just roll it. It doesn't matter. You
I
don't have to go
will
in
I will
order.
forego that and give him Zagzagal's blessing.
All right.
Bye, poor critter. Sorry, my murderous friends wanted to murder you.
yeah, he's gonna come back and get us. I'm gonna at least.
Hayron misses. Ezor
Maybe
misses.
probably.
So it looks like he escapes to come back and kill another party in the future.
That's
yeah,
fine by
now,
us.
now we have to fight it on the way back when we are loaded with diamonds. Why would Zexagar want that?
So
That's a good question.
now that the
You know, when we're cruising downstream, we'll be going so fast that gator won't be able to keep up.
Yeah,
Even though I know.
past him.
So it looks like there's a bit more treasure back there in the lagoon. Now that you drove the alligator off, do we want to take a little bit of time to scout it out?
Search the hell out of it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
All right, well, you guys, why don't we pull the boat up on the shore? And Valela, you keep an eye out if the crocodile seems to be coming back. I'll go back into the lagoon.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll poke around the shore with chain armor, though. I'm not too interested in getting in the water. And
I've
it's
already been soaked, so yeah, I can hop out and have a look at what's in the water there. Kind of root around in the shallows.
Okay, so you guys search around here. It takes you an hour or so, but you do find some crazy stuff apparently. I use random everything. So this is a table that I like to use from Chant of Waves, which is really for Adventure Conqueror King, which is built on BX. They don't really have a very good BX treasure generator online, so I don't use that. But I make everything up as we go. So there's enough in coin, believe it or not, which is pretty crazy. You guys find 600 gold pieces.
Wow.
In random coin amongst all these skeletons and stuff. In the satchel, it looks like it's a waterproofed leather satchel, and there is a book of arcane lore in there, which is another term for a spell book.
Interesting. I like that.
There's like 3 small little barrels, like a small cask, like I don't even know what you would call it, maybe like a gallon, wooden barrels. and they're stamped with it looks like some kind of dwarven marking. You don't recognize the clan symbols though.
Yeah, but it is dwarven, so it has to be good. What's in there?
Well, let's keep them sealed up until we get back to town. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Or we crack one open tonight.
Yeah.
It's we still got the working day done, so let's not crack one open just yet.
Okay, yeah.
Agreed.
How
But tonight.
many barrels were there?
3.
3. Okay. And that
Do the
arcane.
same marking? Are there any differences?
Nope, they all look relatively the same.
The
There were
Book of
pieces
Arcane-
of other barrels that were here, and these are like small casks almost, you know.
Is there the Book of Arcane lore? Was that what was in the satchel?
Yes, and there was
Okay.
also 2 gemstones, a citrine and a jasper.
Whoa.
Okay. Can I have a look at the book? See if I recognize anything in it. Does it look like it's useful?
Okay, in spell books in the house rules, I don't know if you looked at them, but basically you don't have to use read magic to look at them.
Okay, that's good because
So-
I don't have it.
Which would be impossible, right? Because how would you ever do it if you couldn't? But anyway, it. Why don't you roll a d12? You
5.
can roll 2d12. 5.
Oh, and
There's-
another one?
Yeah, roll another one.
And a 3.
All right, so it's a scroll. It's a spell book, and it has floating disc, light, and roll another d12.
And 10.
Phantasmal force. That's a 2nd level spell.
All right, guys, we're rich. Let's just head back.
We are pretty rich. Let's mark that crocodile here on the map. Good thing we didn't kill him. He'll sit here collecting adventurers for us. We come back in a couple months.
Thank you.
These are actually
but-
XPCs in the game, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Yep. These would be Jose and Neil's mage characters that were killed by crocodiles.
Oh nice.
So on the same
I like
river in the same area. So.
All right.
I like that aspect of this funnel type game. Like your characters.
Yeah, I
are
like
funnel.
how you've got the history on this one. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
they had a pretty good run so far, it seems. Of
They did pretty good actually, but then it was
Yeah.
You know,
One wrong turn.
you know, hearing about the Ghost of Jose, I'm in agreement. Tonight we better break open one of those barrels before it goes. You know.
Yeah, be a good idea.
I don't know if you listen to the podcast, but these are guys who are on Hex Talk with me. Jose is.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do listen to your podcast.
So that's pretty funny.
Great.
to me.
We've got work to do. But so help me if I die before trying what's in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have.
All right, that
well,
was successful.
well, let's continue up the river.
Yep.
That's the way this game is. You never quite know. I'm just kind of flipping you guys over some things to get back to where we were. All right, so it looks like it's almost. We only got like an hour left. So what I'm going to do is, why don't we take a quick break for bio and grab drinks or whatever.
Cool.
Okay.
Sure thing.
So how's your con been so far, James?
Oh, really good.
You play a lot of games?
Yeah, I played about 2 each day.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so 2.
What'd you play?
Started out with Hydro Hackers.
Oh, nice. So you with Phil?
Yeah, with Phil. Yep. And then I did the Hydro Hackers, which is fun. He has a neat thing going there where it sort of combines, like, you almost have like that board game element with the cards along with the RP element, which is fun.
I've never seen it, but I listen to that podcast. So
Okay. Do you live in like Buffalo as well?
no, I'm in Northern Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never actually met Phil. I had him on my podcast, and I was on Misdirected Mark not too long ago. So
Oh, okay.
Chris Sneezak edits my podcast, and he's on Misdirected Mark with Phil.
Okay, so that's how you ended up on their network, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. I met Chris at Gamehole Con last year, and we played Dungeon World, and we hung out almost the whole con. And I don't know, like in February or something, I just said, "Hey, I think I could do a podcast, and you don't have one in the network, so what do you think?" So from there, we just started, and it's been pretty successful as far as I can tell. I mean, it's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, as I said, I listen to your podcast. I enjoy it because it's refreshing time sometimes, to see the old BX or hear that sort of side of things. I play many more modern RPGs, but sometimes the simplicity of it is rather enjoyable.
Like I say, I'll pretty much play anything. I would say most of the people that I hang out with or this is kind of more in my wheelhouse or whatever, I guess. So I really believe that they're very similar anyway. You get to the same end point, it's just a different way of doing it. So
yeah, that's one thing that's nice about hearing you say on your podcast is you play pretty much anything, because there's too many groups that are like, oh, we only play this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't have to stick to just one thing. You can play all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Games are fun, man.
Yeah, and you can enjoy different things. Like you can be a designer for a traditional mainstream game and then go and play like OSR and an indie game in the same weekend, and you're not worse for it. You just learn more about what's in there in the game space and the
it's
possibilities.
Awesome. Hey, I want to take a shout out to give a shout out to my buddy Eric Jensen. I'm wearing the old Trident Con shirt. That's coming up in November, I think. It's on the East Coast somewhere. I don't know a ton about it, but it's a cool shirt, and I think it's the second time that they've had it, and it sounds like people have really enjoyed it. So
yeah, wrong continent for me.
Sorry. It's awesome to have you playing, though. Have you heard of the podcast before or no?
I have heard of it, but I haven't listened to it till now. But I will give it a listen then.
All right, cool. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why anyone listens to it, because really it's just me rambling with buddies about gaming. That's it. But
but it's great. It gives us, at least for me, when I listen to your podcast and other podcasts like that, I get so many good ideas, from what you people say. It feeds my imagination a whole lot,
That's good,
so,
man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and one last comment before we get moving again. I was just say, I enjoy about your podcast is you keep the time frames nice. You get good information, but you don't ramble on for too long. So it's nice and tight in that way.
I'm glad you like that. That is something that I said that I wanted to do from the beginning, because I can't. It's hard for me to sit that long and listen to other podcasts. I was just on the Heroes Brew. I don't know if you've ever heard of that podcast. No. It's Tenkar, Eric Tenkar, and James Spahn and Glenn Hallstrom. It's only on the third one, and that went for like 80 some minutes, and I was just like, oh my god, this is taking forever. So
hey, it's nice if you got a long commute to work. So
yeah.
So
I say just listen to 2 episodes of Hobbs and Friends then.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
Right,
play
so-
the loop and let you like just to catch me in a bit. Like if you were to sell me like on a sentence, like what do you review modules? I'm familiar with Fear of a Black Dragon that the Gauntlet does, and that's not really a review. They kind of do this deep dive talk about a module thing. What
On my
What do you do?
podcast, what is it?
Mhm.
I would say I have guests on, and we talk about what we're doing in gaming and how that might relate to the OSR. I've done some interviews, and probably the most popular series out of my podcast so far is Hex Talk, where me and two buddies basically tell you how to create a hex crawl sandbox type game.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was gonna recommend that one. You know, that's a great series.
We've done 4 episodes for that series so far, and the 5th one will be we're going to kind of do our the Swordfish Isles by Jacob Hurst. We're going to do it has a player's guide and a GM guide, and we're going to deep dive the player's guide first and talk about it as a player's point of view, and then we're going to play a campaign of a few sessions, and then we'll talk about the GM aspects of it. That's kind of inspired by Fear of a Black Dragon, I would say. But we kind of covered a lot of stuff about hex crawls already, so I thought it would be a cool idea to actually look into one that I really like and then talk about it. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this is my first hex crawl, so it's great to be like introduced by someone who's at least good enough to talk about it for 40 minutes every week.
yeah. This is actually kind of a new style of gaming for me. It's similar to what I've done my whole life because I've been gaming since the late 70s, but this is a way more kind of a codified and a very procedural way of doing it. Because like all the stuff that happened, ahead of time, I did all the rolls, but normally in a game we would be messing around making rolls and checking happenings. I wouldn't have done it all ahead of time like I did for you guys. So, and also the concept of this campaign is if like next year we play Gauntlet Con or you see me at a convention or whatever, I'll run this and you can use the same characters.
Okay, that's cool.
That's the idea. So it's always kind of living and going on as it goes. And then, so your characters, and they're kind of separate a little bit. The lore exists from the my online game that I play almost every week or whatever. It's there, but it's not going to overlap. Like those guys aren't going to keep those characters. So it's not like, but you could have vast differences in character levels or whatever.
Like the RPGA stuff from way back when.
Exactly. It's inspired by that Living Greyhawk or whatever.
Yep,
Those things.
Yeah, so now we should just take the 600 gold pieces we have and erect a giant statue of ourselves in the port. So every other player will be reminded of like a Gauntlet Con fist or something.
Nice.
I mean that, or we could just like give all the money to the henchmen. So the next group that comes through, the henchmen will all be like, "No, we're good."
Yeah, so
They'll all be like,
living in living campaigns.
All right, so it's about midday. You guys finish up your fighting. You search out the cove of the giant crocodile and gathered up some remnants of past adventurers. And I'm assuming that Heron is going to continue to push you guys upstream on the boat. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Weren't we going to open a cask or something?
What we could do is we'll go upstream, and then when we camp for the night, we'll break the cask out and have some good times.
Yeah, I don't think we are as desperate that we need to start swamp drinking while we are like sitting soaked in a boat near the remains of dead adventurers. That's
especially if that's dwarven ale. It'll probably be a bit strong for us to be able to pilot the boat straight after.
It will just be. It will be just right.
Cool.
All right, so you guys are getting towards evening. Just like before, it's super humid. It's hard to see much, and the boat is now kind of coming out through these hills that you believe, according to Valalea's map, that you've reached the spot where, compared to her map, I guess that's the wrong thing to say. Compared to the map that you sketched off at in the tavern, this is the place that the last group began to travel overland.
I say we keep going river and see what's up there. Because I'm thinking the river's got to come from somewhere. It may come from the lake.
Yep.
At least worth checking out.
Yeah, let's find the source.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
How are you doing, Huron? You tired?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Should I roll something?
No, you already did.
Okay.
All right, so it starts to get more difficult to move because we're moving. Now it's kind of flowing along uphill, and it doesn't take. It's nighttime basically by the time you realize it'll almost be. Oh shit!
Yeah, yeah. Once
Impossible.
it gets a little bit too dark, that's where we'll kind of pull off. And
so you've moved kind of into a mountainous region. You know, you're at the, we'll say maybe a half mile up along this river. You can see that you are nearing a peak. And it's time to camp if that's what you desire. Otherwise, you can, light up some torches or try and go by starlight or whatever you want to do.
I think that it's time for that dwarven ale.
Yeah. This is a good place to stop for the night.
Okay.
What are you going to do with the boat?
Oh, pull it up on shore.
Yep. And maybe
Pull it up on shore. We could even flip it over and make a little bit of a shelter out of it.
Yep, seems good.
Yeah, our plan was to sleep under the boat or tip it up against a tree, something like that, for the first night, and maybe cover it up with some branches and stash it in the bushes when we gotta start taking a hike.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's see. I'm not going to get too deeply into it. I'll probably just roll randomly who's on watch if something occurs during the night, unless you want to set up specific watches.
No.
Nope.
No, I think
all right, cool.
I've got a bona fide 5 if you really want. I'm sure you do as well, because you probably play games with funny dice, and of course Roll20.
Oh yeah, I do. I play DCC. So the basically the watch goes uneventful, but there was a new thing that happened, and that is that Valela was checking out. If you guys want to check out the map compared to the treasure map, right, that was on the thing.
There we are.
Doing some reading, in the morning and by firelight. Like when you look at it where the X is, she believes that that's river on the lower area.
Oh,
on the bottom left is the river you guys are on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's possible we could go around this peak and north and maybe see what that area is, or we may be just a couple miles from the lake. The mine was by the lake, right?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a mine up near here.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd probably be a good idea. Like tomorrow when we get up, we'll just head.
No, this is the next day. So.
Oh, this is the next day. We're set. Okay.
Yep. How was the dwarven ale? Had to be good because we.
It was a dwarven brandy throughout the night.
Oh,
Guys,
nice.
And that explains why we forgot all about drinking it, and it feels like it's.
It is actually very good brandy, and you're pretty sure that the casks, a full cask, is worth 100 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Well, good thing we have 2 left.
You guys wouldn't even have had to necessarily finish the other one, but you could if you wanted. I'm cool with whatever. Yeah. You're not going to get 100 gold pieces for it.
Okay. So what's our goal? Do we want to check out that X, or do we want to go to the lake? I'm voting for the X.
Yeah, X marks the spot.
Yeah.
Let's look at the X. Maybe that's the mind.
Yeah.
It is.
Or it's something really suspicious because the GM put the X on there.
Yeah, but it has to be something of interest. Otherwise, the person wouldn't have marked it. Yep.
So we're gonna head north of Hex and see what's in that next Hex north of us.
Okay, to the north of you, it looks like heavy mountains region. It's very difficult to move. So you could continue going that way, or you could move into the lower hills to 6553. Basically, the mountain region is going to take more of your movement space, but it is an unknown hex.
I was going to say, let's head into the unknown hex. But we'll take the time to do it. We got all day.
Yeah, what kind of dwarf would I be if I didn't like
Yeah.
the mountains?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, nice. All right, so let's see here. So you can go ahead and move the party up into that hex. You're just going to keep on heading north from here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yep, I like that.
So is that how far we can make it for? We'll head north until what, about noon, and then maybe decide again. Does that sound good?
Yeah, maybe we can climb onto like a higher vantage point, get a look, or
Maybe see what's in neighboring hexes. Is that what
yeah,
you're
get
thinking?
a lay of the land. It's mountainous here, so there could be something to see.
Okay. So from where we're at, what all can we see from here?
Basically, it's obviously fairly large mountains this direction.
Okay.
Cumbering in this giant peak right here. All right, that's the highest peak of this mountainous area. Maybe one mountain. I'm not the greatest at knowing because honestly, these are the 1 mile hexes. So it's a kind of a broken area with if it's a triple mountain, it's more difficult to travel in. So it seems like on that map that would be most likely. It doesn't seem like you are in the lake is going to be here. You would be able to probably see that by now.
Yeah. So we're probably still a bit east or a bit west from where that is.
Yep, that would be a great perception.
Do we want to check this thing out up here, or do we want to just maybe start heading east into the unknown mountains yet?
Yeah, there is stairs down marked on our map.
Yeah.
So maybe
do we want to check that out?
Why the F not? Why?
Okay, we're checking that out.
Yeah.
So we're going up there.
All right, so it's a little bit past midday.
Might as well look.
You guys are doing your your midday ablutions, eating as you go, keeping a close eye out. So roll a d6.
Anybody in particular?
You're the
D6.
initiative and caller.
And I'm clicking on the wrong thing. And I got a 2.
You guys haven't quite gotten there yet, but as you're going, the group kind of starts to smell fecal matter, like an odor that's kind of overpowering in the area. And you guys are traveling over this fairly hilly land, and to the south east is where the elevation keeps getting higher, and you're kind of headed down to the west. You can kind of see those hills, and then beyond them are a fairly large jungle area. So I can just show you a little more of this because you guys are kind of above it.
I was a little wondering about that.
Yeah, so this is all jungle over here, and these are hills coming down elevation from where you're at. And it kind of hills and dales, as you're just going along the edge of this mountain. And there's a large mountain to the north up here, that kind of just goes up even above you. So this is kind of looking like a pass area that goes through here. Like there's hills over here. So this hex right here looks like hills.
Oh, okay.
All right. But you can also notice this smell, and you realize that you haven't seen like a lot of birds or anything like that recently. And like an ear-piercing bestial screech is kind of let out and kind of echoes around the mountains around you. So what I want you to do is everyone with a henchman, I want you to make a morale check. So roll a 2d6 and see if they are under their morale. I don't make players do that unless they have something very specific that would cause fear or something like that.
And you want the same or under, or completely
Yep.
under? Okay,
The same or under is fine.
we're good here.
All right, so both of you guys made it. And you guys are like, oh, what the heck? And then suddenly this huge rustling of wings comes up, and then like kind of behind you and up to the right where the higher elevations are, like over top of like some boulders, a massive creature that's easily, it looks like a giant bird or like some kind of eagle. Its wingspan is easily, 30 feet, 40 feet. And it doesn't seem happy. And you're guessing the smell that you go on, you must be close to its lair.
Yeah.
Huh. I think we need to find like an overhang or something.
Yeah, I don't think we can fight that thing right now. We are lacking ranged weapons.
Yeah.
A few crossbows and it wouldn't be a problem, but as it is, it can just attack us from in flight.
Yeah, it'll just pick us off if we stay out in the open though too. So we gotta definitely get ourselves something over our heads.
Oh, too bad we didn't bring the boat with us.
Yeah, the boat would have been loads of fun. Okay, yeah. So let's find some overhang or something to hide under and see what it does. Maybe it goes on to its lair and we can just go ahead and pass the thing and not have to.
So you guys' intentions are to scatter away and look for some sort of hangover. You're not or hangover.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a little bit of a hangover from that brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our intention is to ultimately avoid the bird.
All right, so
Run away.
it doesn't seem.
It looks too big for us at the moment.
All right, it doesn't seem to be attacking you. So as you scuttle away and find it, and you kind of clamber down under this overhang, hoping against all hope, and mouthing prayers to Zagzagal, it doesn't come after you. It is kind of echoing, but as soon as you've left this area, it seems like okay with not coming after you.
Okay. Cool.
Zagzagal will be prized, and a good call there, cleric. We spared the crocodile, and now we are spared by this eagle.
It's a sign. It is definitely a sign. We survived another one.
Yeah, this is like I say, this isn't nothing is set up by level. So whatever comes up, comes up.
So let's.
I'm looking at the. Oh, go ahead.
I should say we'll just mark the giant eagle on the map so we can avoid it on our return trip.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. We can tag it here. I'm looking at the treasure map and our area. I am wondering if that stairs down is the X. I'm wondering if that's the scale, and that's our X that we're looking for.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah.
Or
so do we loop around in the southern hex?
No, I wanna see what the stairs do.
But to avoid the rock, we can loop around to the south, get an approach that would be within the area of the map to make sure.
I think the hex is a mile, so we can still move in this hex and avoid the eagle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's just head straight to the stairs. We got about 40 minutes left in the game, so let's just head straight forward.
Yep. Let's head over there and see what's in the deal with the stairs down.
All right, you guys make a path. You kind of come over another large elevation point, and you kind of look down, and it looks like a clear area in the center of this hilly, mountainous region. With scrub and bits of boulders. It looks almost like it was paved by something. It's kind of white and bright, and it takes a little bit to even look at it. It has there's 6 pillars that are about 20 feet wide. They're square pillars, and so they're 20 by 20. Just the pillars are, and they're in a pattern. And in the center of them, it looks like there was some kind of monolith or something that has been busted and broken down, and bits of debris have fallen in to these large, massive alabaster stairs leading down into the darkness. You don't really see anything living around.
Okay.
Okay.
We make sure we're prepped. Do we want to stash?
You're still, I'm still saying you're 150, 200 yards away. You just see it down below you.
Right.
So does it look like it was dwarven built?
From this distance, it's almost, if it was dwarves, they must have had some scaffolding or some really big stilts. Because the pillars, they're probably 50 feet high. One of them's broken off and, there's just crumbling stone. Most of the dust has been blown by the wind.
Lots of things, but this is clearly the work of Zagzagal and the gods.
Okay. Yeah.
I know I'm being completely ridiculous.
Oh no, this is what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
This is emergent gaming at its best, brothers.
I will need to see evidence that it's dwarven. That's sort of my motivation here. I want to see that.
We definitely need to check the area out. So I say we go down, but we pick our path and make sure we're not causing landslides or causing extra noise or causing any kind of disturbance, and kind of quietly make our way down to the edge of the built up area and check it out from there.
All right. So it is basically, like I said, it takes you a little ways to pick your way while carefully down the slopes, and you find yourself on this cracked, whitish stone, expert workmanship, and in the center of these massive pillars, you find this staircase, the spiral staircase that's leading down into the depths of Kalmatta.
How big are these? How wide's the staircase?
We'll say 10 feet.
Okay.
And
So it's
drop between each. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The drop between each step, is it like dwarven foot height? Is it human foot height, or is it even bigger or stranger?
Yeah, that's where I was gonna ask. I'm like, so what's the scale of these steps?
Himby would guess that it's at least humanoid sized. Between human and dwarf, difficult. Dwarves would never say, "I'm going to make a smaller staircase just for our stature."
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you did spot that it looks like the scripting along the square pillars. You would definitely say it's kind of stylistic, dwarven, runic, but no. It doesn't make any sense to any kind of language, It's just like more of just like that kind of artistic flair, dwarvish for sure.
Yeah, this looks like a dwarven place, or at least inspired by dwarves. Like maybe they taught whoever built this how to work stone.
That is useful evidence, but I'll need to see more. Let's go.
Yeah. Does it look unlit down there, I would assume?
Yes.
How long does my light last? Or should we break out? I would say let's break out torches unless we absolutely need to use the spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has a free
I'm
hand?
assuming Hingle.
I was gonna say we've got our torchbearer guy. So we've got Hingle. Hingle's been hired to carry the torches. So.
Yep. I'm fighting with two-handed swords, so I'm not the torchbearer here.
Yeah, I think as long as we have a torch, we could probably light a second one if our group's big enough and we need the extra light. But a torch is a good start, and we could start heading down.
I got a free hand, assuming that the Warhammer is one-handed, so
yeah,
I can.
Well, and I can always do it too because I'm a magic user. So daggers don't take up much space.
So let's carry two torches just in case if one gets extinguished. We don't want to sit there in the dark and try to light it.
You keep saying you're a magic user, but it's been 2 days and I haven't seen you do any magic.
Not calling you out or anything, but
Don't you see the finely crafted beard? Magic user. The robes, see?
Yeah, a dwarven schoolgirl can grow a beard like that.
Oh,
all right. So who's all having a torch? Just Hingle, or is someone else carrying one?
Me, Arslan, the cleric.
Okay, Arslan's carrying one as well. Nice. All righty. All right, so you guys travel down the spiral staircase, and it's just like a shaft of stone that it travels down, and you can actually feel the temperature change first after you're out of the sun of the wide open plateau that the alabaster edifice or whatever you want to call it was had been built upon, and the dwarf. Himby would guess, you're easily 50 to 100 feet underground by this point. There is some notification or it looks like some sort of something has been down here recently, because even as you go down farther, like you can see like paths that have been placed through the dust or debris that has gathered, has been shifted around. So something has been down here, and most likely recently. You even see some scat along the corners of the spiral staircase, along the edges of the spiral staircase as it goes down. So when you reach about the 75 feet down, apparently the Himby likes to count off the spaces as you go down, but the light opens up around you, and you can you look like below you. You can see that there's no shaft around the staircase any longer, and you're like in a large domed chamber. So can everyone see?
yeah, just loading the map up. Okay, look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a good bit of space.
This, that's pretty enormous.
Can everyone see okay? You guys can see there's like a lantern, and it has like a light around it, and you can see 4 pillars in a kind of a circular chamber.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I've done is, instead of everyone trying to keep up with their tokens, I just use this lantern to signify the party.
Yep.
And then if it comes up where we need individual tokens, I have them. I think you can see them in the other part down here.
Okay.
I just have them stashed right here. And then the guys with the yellow dots, they have torches. Okay.
All right. We can't see where you have them stashed, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Well,
bring them in. If they
Well, it's because we don't. You're using the
Fog of War.
dynamic lighting.
Oh yeah.
dynamic lighting. Yeah.
It's probably because we don't have a light radius on any of us.
No, I did. I put it on already, brother.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so
But I don't know. It could be many different things, but if we need it, then we'll get into it. Otherwise,
Yep,
we
that's
won't
fine.
worry about it.
Okay, cool.
So this spiral staircase, it sort of just descends right at the top, and then it's just like a drop down, or what?
It goes all the way to the floor, but
Okay.
the shaft that you were traveling in, it just kind of opened up into this domed chamber. So as you were coming down, you could see the ceiling of the dome, and then as it came down, you guys can't even tell it's domed really. Probably, I don't know if you can from dim light or not, but.
We could probably tell because we were walking down through the opening, so
yeah.
probably get a good idea that way.
It's in the dead center. You can just kind of barely see the outside wall right there. You guys can kind of see that, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's circular. Okay, yeah, you're guessing. And it has these 4 large pillars that are probably 2 to 3 feet. So this is the scale. Each square is 5 feet. And there's debris kind of laying around. So as you come down the stairs, it opens up. You've been in a kind of a tight shaft that was 10 feet, 12 feet wide around you. The stairs just went right up to the wall. And then it opened up below you, and you came out, and your light kind of just filtered out across this cobblestone. Like even the ceiling, everything kind of has these cobbles these circular stones that have been set into the walls. So this is obviously man-made, likely dwarven made.
Okay.
So what do you do?
Can we see enough into those distances? Are those openings or such in the walls? Because it looks like there's several of them around the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
If
go
we
check
can
one
just
out.
sort of walk the perimeter and shine the light down each hallway.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea. We'll
Okay, so you guys continue down the staircase
Yeah.
to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, you can go ahead and like the caller can move kind of just where you're going. This is a vast chamber, you would guess after walking around it, 60 feet, across.
Okay.
I think we do this perimeter thing, and I would suggest looking for any inscriptions, maybe.
Oh, okay. So we go up to the wall and kind of have a look at it.
Yeah, maybe at one of the pillars as well as we going past it to see the material of the pillar.
So we've got an opening down here.
It looks like something burrowed through here. It doesn't look like it's part of the design.
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of, and then looks like there's stairs a little further on. Not created stairs, but natural ones maybe. Okay, so let's head. We just kind of do the clockwise thing, and then maybe check the pillar out.
Yeah.
What's on the pillar? Is it got markings on it and stuff?
Yeah, it looks similar to the stylistic engravings that were on the pillars above. Not as well worn, obviously, so you maybe could capture them, but right off the bat, you don't see anything that means anything to you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But does it look like it's design patterns, or does it look like it's writing?
More like designed.
Okay. So we'll head up over here, see this opening here, and have a look at it. What do these openings look like? I mean, it looks like it's a broken wall that's just tunnel.
Yeah, it does look like something is probably broken into it from a natural cave. Like there's two of them that look like they're probably natural. These were archways to the south and to the west. But this one basically to the northeast, and then the one to the north over here, these don't look as natural. These look like they've been broken into by something or someone at some point.
Which direction do you guys happen to think is a good way to go? So we've got this one up here that's got like
I think I see something down there.
Y split. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I think we should check that out.
You want to check that out?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're checking that out.
Yeah, let's check that out.
So we'll edge our way in here and have
maybe some of us should wait by
the
this
entrance.
Yeah.
And then if the other ones scream, you'll know when to head up the stairs.
Yeah.
Is that the? Okay.
There. It sounds like you guys are talking about doing different things. So
Tokens it is.
how about your tokens?
There we go.
I will happily hang in the back and keep watch for danger and be here if someone needs a heal.
We need at least one torch guy in front.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
don't want to be holding a torch because I
Okay. So what I'm gonna how long does that light spell last?
All right, so right now you guys have been down here for probably 2 rounds, right? So 2 turns, so 20 minutes so far, walking around and looking at what you have. So you know that you have probably 40 more minutes before your torches run out, and you would need to rest. As far as the light spell goes, let me see here. I'm lost in my 25 pages of rules, so here we go. It lasts about similar to the same amount of time as a torch.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer,
So
depending on if your strength or power.
So if we've got the torches with us,
we have plenty of torches, so don't worry about that. We can just light more.
Yeah. Okay. Let's head down the hallway. We're heading down the one to the right.
Yeah. I think we're yes, we're headed to the right. I think.
Okay.
Or you call her. You can call it out.
That's the plan. We're gonna make our way to the right.
All right, so the people in front there, Ezor's in the front.
Well, I'm here, and then I'm gonna let the guys kind of shuffle past me as we start going in.
Well, but if something happened, I mean, and you were surprised that something ran up on you,
that's fine. That's fine.
You'd be in that situation.
Yep.
All right. So you can see from this distance, you're about 20 feet away. There looks like some sort of creature that's probably 10 feet tall. It looks kind of like a four-armed white ape or gorilla, and it's laying on the ground, and it looks like you can even see spots of blood even from this distance, and it looks like some of them are close to you guys, like some sort of pretty large battle took place here.
Okay, how
I have heard of this type of thing. I have heard a rumor of a four-armed ape that lives in northern Kalmatta. Is that where we are?
No.
Okay.
This thing is probably smaller. That thing is probably some kind of giant cousin of this creature.
All right.
Hmm.
So, does he look at us? Does it see us?
No, it's laying on the ground. It looks like it's been pierced by weapons, and it's kind of just a bloody carcass right now.
So it might be dead. Okay.
So I'm going to check the corpse. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, how decomposed is that thing? That's would be interesting to know.
Sorry.
I'll go ahead and stick next to you to provide light if we're doing that.
Okay.
I'm moving up with you.
So I can see the light.
It still looks like things are manually being covered up, or do I have to take a step into the darkness?
It should be lit up the way that our lantern was lighting it up.
But it's not. You can't see. You guys still can't see.
The ones with the lights aren't really casting light for everybody else to see.
I think you might have the fog of war on as well as the dynamic lighting.
No.
Well, hold on.
I don't.
Yeah,
There's a
it looks
setting.
like Fog of War with the manual clip-out shape, and I mean, I've got a light. I'm moving around down here in the big main room.
There's
That's not a problem.
Yeah, and I can see it when you're down there, but I can't see it when you're up in the darkness up here. So if I were to move the party light over here, I'm in complete darkness.
Yeah.
Even with the guys.
Well, you know what? I
with the
put this in
torches
the wrong
next to
spot. I'm moving some characters around.
Okay.
I put this on the wrong guy. Where?
I think it's just if your Fog of War is also ticked, like you use either dynamic lighting or Fog of War.
I think there's also a can see or something. There's a setting on each of the characters that'll let you see what.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Lights. Yeah.
I thought I did this once.
But hey, how else would you be able to get this punchy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it works perfectly, and sometimes it doesn't.
If the technology is becoming a bit of a problem, let's just resort to some theater of the mind and say.
Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah.
Like it's somewhat of a controlled enough situation. We could drive it out unless anyone's.
Yep. Well, and really, if we want, we could just drag the little party token with us.
Yep, that's fine.
Right
actually, what I was just going to say is, as you guys move closer, we'll just bring the party light up there.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's working, and I don't know why the other ones aren't, but it's not. So
yeah, maybe let's just keep moving the party light and.
Yep, that works. So this thing on the floor up here, it's dead, laying there, or have we gone up? It's at least laying on the floor. We're not sure dead or whatever.
Right, but as you get closer, you realize like you could see its upper body, but like its lower body has been. Wait a second. What the heck? I got some crazy stuff going on here. All right, so there's something looks like it's feeding on its lower body, and as your light crosses over it, it doesn't look happy.
Oh, nice. Okay. I say we hit it.
Yeah.
before it starts gnawing on our lower bodies.
Yeah, what kind of unhappy thing are we seeing there?
I'm going to show you here in a second.
I was perfectly content to back away and let this thing eat what it was eating.
All right, it looks like some kind of lizard, but it's shaped more like a canine. So it's kind of some kind of lizard hound.
Mm.
And they're like the size of maybe a little smaller than Great Danes. There's 2 of them there. It kind of looks up at you, and it's kind of it's got the long face of a Great Dane, but when it hisses at you, a long forked tongue kind of comes out, and it's still kind of a little bloody. But this creature has been dead for quite a while. So what I'd like you to do is let's have whoever's in front there. He can just roll a d6 to see if he's surprised.
Okay.
All right.
6.
So you guys are not surprised for whatever reason. You're hardened adventurers already. After the crocodile incident, you're like, fuck it, this thing doesn't bother us at all.
Nope.
So what are you guys going to do? The one is eating and the other one is kind of trolling around next to it. You can just kind of see it in the dimly lit shadows of this cavernous chamber or hallway. So
Maybe
what is it you have in mind?
Maybe we should back away slowly. Let's
So
not
you think
try
maybe
not to fight them. What?
back away and head down the other tunnel?
We can head
Yeah,
over here
maybe.
to the left.
Yeah, we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should avoid fighting at all costs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
or we go back into the main chamber and pick another tunnel completely.
Well, we could always go down this direction and see what's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder-
I think that's good.
I wonder what happened to that female dwarf that caused her to die in there, huh?
What's that?
I was referring to the white ape as a female dwarf.
Okay, it's like 10 feet tall, so that's like dwarves.
Not too dwarfish.
Well, it's kind of dwarf compared to the giant four-armed ape that one of the other characters had heard about. But
Okay, so let's head to the other direction if those lizard things aren't coming at us, and we'll keep an eye on them so they don't hit us from behind. It looks like they're eating though, so it's probably no big deal.
so you can just go ahead and move the party lantern for where you want to go, because that would be a lot easier.
Okay, so let's head over here.
So you can just use that. All right, so it looks like these are natural caves that have been kind of cleaned up in some way, but it also has this kind of the old, rank kind of smell of no longer being used. You can move. It looks like there's a central chamber there. At one point, it looks like you can see bits and pieces of stone tools and like fur bedding. You can go around and look in all of them. You don't really hear or see anything.
Okay.
So that seems to be moving.
Better.
Yeah. Head up a bit further. Up to there.
Yeah, so like this is the central chamber here. You can just move the lantern thing. You don't have to move your tokens if you don't want to.
I'm doing
It'll
it.
just clutter shit up. So this is like the central area, and you can see that there's chambers here, here, and here. And they look like they might have been some kind of living quarters of some sort of prehistoric or Neanderthal type small tribe of a civilization.
Well, we'll rummage around and see if they left anything. I'm sure it's possible.
Move party light all around.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
All right. You do find like hidden in some folds, kind of smashed into behind a rock. It looks like some kind of leather clothing of some sort. Maybe it was a bag at one point. There's bits and pieces of small natural nuggets of some kind of silverish metal ore.
Huh. Okay.
How many
Silverish, so it's not like you don't look at it, you think silver pieces. It's something a little different than silver.
The dwarf doesn't think it's silver, but he isn't sure what it is. But it looks like it could be fashioned into something valuable like silver.
Okay. So which direction do you guys want to go? Do we dig any down here, or do we just leave this and continue working our way around the big room and see what's around?
Big room, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So if we go back this direction and then start heading this way around.
Yeah, someone else can take it.
Head this way around the room here. Let's check this opening and see what this one is.
All right. So this looks like it was a dwarven made archway here that you're passing under. It's got more of the stylized runic symbols and stuff along these pillars that are holding it. And you can see down here that there's another archway past, and it looks like at one point there were cobbles along the ground, but they've kind of broken and fallen into debris, or maybe they were taken or used for stone tools or whatever. But you can see there's another archway, and then there's another one of these cavern
thing.
Natural.
Yeah, I think we are following the cobblestone that might lead to.
So you're thinking go this direction and have a look in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this looks like another smaller chamber that's been. Looks like there's some debris from some kind of structural damage here, but most importantly, it looks like there's a circle with a stylized dais with some kind of stone sarcophagus on it.
Huh. I guess we're gonna check that out.
Yeah, there are like a grave was marked on the map in Dwarven runes. So this might be the lost king of the Brittlebeards or something like that.
Yeah, I think we best open it up and make sure he's not undead in there. I mean, we're performing a public service here.
Yes. Yeah. So
So when you say it, what do you intend to do? Who's doing it, and what is it that you're doing?
Let's have a look at descriptions first. I think, is there anything that tells us about who's lying here?
I've got another game that apparently was starting. Sorry for noising out on there, but it was great.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know. Well, thanks for playing. Who's leaving?
That's me, Charles the cleric. Arslan gets scared and runs away, or something like that.
Arslan's totally not cool with grave robbing. That's about to happen.
You're here, but if they all die, you die. If they get back, you get back.
Sounds
if you're
great.
playing another game. Thank you, Charles.
It was a pleasure.
Cool.
Yep.
See you.
Have fun.
All right, so if you want to check it out first, Dwarf, go ahead. But I want to check this for traps before we try to do anything special to it.
I say then you check it for traps, and afterwards I read whatever inscriptions might be on the sarcophagus.
That sounds like
so
a plan.
the thief falcon is going to examine it. What's your find and remove traps?
20%.
20%. Okay. Is there anything specific you're trying to do, or you just want to use that roll, or do you want to talk about what you want to do?
Yeah, well, I want to sort of go over to it first thing, and then I'm just going to sort of run my hands along it, looking for any sort of grooves.
All right, so it's on a raised dais, and then the dais itself has these special, it looks like structured pieces of stone that have been inlaid upon the top of it, and then on top of that inlay is this stone sarcophagus.
Okay, so he'll start with the dais to see, if it looks like it's connected to anything. So is there a gap between the dais and the? Is it free floating? Is kind of the first thing. Is there a gap between that and the floor, or does it look like it's secured right into the floor? Is the first thing to check.
The dais, it looks like it was maybe carved out of stone, a heavy stone piece, and it doesn't look like it doesn't. If you grab it and you try and shift it, it doesn't look like it turns or anything like that. It does have the stylized dwarven, writing along, not writing, but cuneiform or whatever you want to call it around the edges of the dais. And then, like I say, there's individual stone lay-ins on top of the dais.
Okay.
And then the sarcophagus is on top of those.
So he's just going to, I guess I'll just use the 20% there, the traps, because he's just going to sort of do, quickly looking for anything that looks like it moves or is out of place.
So basically he doesn't find anything. He doesn't see like any openings or nozzles or anything like that, or like spear tips or anything. It does look like the sarcophagus lid, it could be shoved off.
Okay. I will let the dwarf know it's safe.
Okay, then I go in and look at hints we might get from how it is built, or inscriptions.
Okay, so from what he can tell, it looks like, there's on top. Is he going to get on top of the dais so he
Sure.
can see the top of the sarcophagus? Because he's probably not. Because otherwise, it's a total of probably 5 feet in the air on the top of the sarcophagus, so it would be above his head. He'd have to get onto the dais to see on top of the.
I go there. I trust Falcon that it's safe.
All right, so you can tell it takes a little while because the runes aren't the same as what modern dwarves use, but you believe that this is the crypt of Drat the Dreadful.
Yeah, I tell the group that Drat the Dreadful doesn't sound like a pleasant person.
Do we have any history on him, or is it just a name is all you have?
The wizard and why doesn't Himby and Izor, you can go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Roll a d20. The lower the better.
Valhalla, is there anything in your journal about Drop the Dreadful?
Why don't you roll a d20 as well then?
Yeah, 20. So no, or
Himby has never heard of Drat the Dreadful, but he sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Now he sounds like a delightful guy. He's one of the. He has to be one of the good ones, and the name was just given because his enemies feared him.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 for the journal.
All right, she doesn't see anything about Drat the Dreadful, but she does see reference to some dude named Drat Stoneaxe, and it's a old dwarven hero from a long time ago, and he was most known for breaking the rock dwarves of Hildor in a civil combat that they had.
Oh, yeah. So this must be Drat Stoneaxe.
Well, so what do we do with this? I mean,
well, I think we open it up and look in there. He was one of the those elitist folks that crushed the proletariat.
oh, okay, definitely. I'm not the strong type to kind of move this big.
Oh, that's all right. Well, why don't we have the henchmen do it?
They can, yeah, that'll work. We can do that.
Torchbearer, let's move this.
The torchbearer won't move it.
Okay, maybe I should move it.
All right.
Hey, Ron, you're gonna do it.
What?
Hey, Ron, you're gonna open it.
Yes. How do I do it?
You don't. Just why don't you roll a d20, like do a strength check. So you want to roll low.
Okay. And
What's your strength?
13 plus 1.
Yeah. So you shove it to the side. And you see, it looks like a skeleton on there. He's got a low, he's got like a helmet, a nasal helm, and he's dressed in like, it looks like possibly, some chainmail, bits and tatters is all he has. There are like, you can see the sparkling of some gems glowing off the torchlight.
So, guys, do you think we should, do you think it's safe to take the stuff?
I think we should take it and bring it back to a proper dwarven hold where this king might be honored by dwarves, and they might even reward us for bringing the stuff to them.
All right, so I take the stuff.
Yep.
All right. When you reach in there to defile Drott's cairn or final resting place, the dust swirls and a glowing, comes about its eyes. Who dares disturb the rest of Drott? And he seems like he kind of moves up right away. So you can roll initiative here.
Okay.
Who should roll?
Just initiative guy.
Yep.
Okay.
D6. We got a 6.
Yay!
You did?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Nice. So let's see what I do. 4. So you guys can go ahead and do whatever you want. The back of the party can kind of hear some rustling and rubble kind of shifting around and can glance back and sees these dudes back here kind of just coming out of some kind of, wall niches.
Ooh.
They also look like dwarven skeletons.
I think we're pinned in.
And now our cleric is gone. Bah.
Here, we'll try and speed through this, but I have to go to the restroom again quick because I don't want to hold up anyone.
Oh.
Well, we've hit a successful haul so far.
Yep. Yeah, I think our biggest haul is probably going to be the river, especially if this takes us out. Which will then make this the biggest haul for the next guys that come through.
Yep. I think we got this encounter, but it makes sense. We'll probably finish this encounter and then head back to town.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea. That's one thing that's really unique with Moldvay D&D. If any of you haven't played before, is your experience. Most of your experience comes in the gold pieces you get back to town.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you don't get them back
I heard about
now-
that.
Yeah, did you read his house rules? The
No, I
GP
had.
His house rule is the GP you spend carousing is the XP you get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's different. So you want to go back to town and blow all your cash?
Yeah. that does drinking 100 gold piece jug of brandy count as carousing? That's the
I
question.
don't know. We'll have to ask him afterwards.
Well, we'll have to take it back to town and share it with everybody, and I'm sure that counts.
All right. So what are we doing? We don't mess around with the tokens. I think everyone knows what's going on. So
Yeah.
it's your guys' turn.
Oh, behind us! And I'm going to launch a sling stone at one of the skeleton warriors behind us.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, charm person is not going to come in handy here.
That's true. I didn't give you too many opportunities for that, did I?
I got a 17.
Oh, that hits. These guys have, they look like, they have chain and shield on, so.
Okay.
That hits, though.
What is
D4.
the D4?
Two.
Yep. And then Valila will stab Durak with her spear.
She's trying to keep at range?
Yes.
Okay. Valila misses.
Well, she's trying to keep at range, so she's not quite. She can't quite reach him with the spear.
Who's that? That was James. What's Charles is gone. Himby.
Drott, you do not have to fight us, and we do not intend to disturb your grave. We merely want to bring you back to the Draven homelands, where the Brittlebeards have not been forgotten, and your name may be honored as Drott Stoneaxe once we reveal your helmet and you might find a final resting place deep under the ground.
In his deep, gravelly voice, he answers, For a dwarf, you talk a lot. Drat shall continue to make his name known by killing all of you. But I'll let you roll 2d6. Go ahead. You can roll 2d6 and add your charisma modifier.
Yeah, that's not good, but I can subtract my charisma modifier. It's a 3.
That's pretty rough. And I'll kill you first. You want to attack?
Yeah, you had your chance, Revenant. And then
All right, yeah, go ahead, roll, man. D20
Ooh,
plus your strength modifier.
at 12.
13 or 12. All right, he seems to fend it off quite easily with his shield.
Oh, well.
Good try, though. I like the talking.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, he's all right.
I think I'm. I don't have too many choices here. A magic user with a dagger. I think I'm probably gonna chuck the dagger at Draught.
All right.
And
All
I
right.
got a 16.
Roll damage.
And that was a D6?
4, D4 for a
D4.
dagger.
D4 for a dagger. And a point.
All right. You nudge a bit of the skeletal shoulder off of him. Some bone chips fly off.
Now I'm a magic user without a dagger.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, I will swing my sword at the dwarf undead there. I forgot the name. Draught, right?
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds great.
I can add my strength here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
you hit.
wow.
So roll damage and add your strength. What do you?
Yeah. Well, I have a sword. What's the damage for that?
D8.
Okay. Three. Not so good.
Still is affecting him. This is kind of it's always willing away resources in a game like this.
Yep.
Is that everybody? Himby is cowering with fear, but he's still standing strong, holding the
Oh,
torch.
we've got
him.
Hingle back here.
Hingle, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
He won't fight.
No? Okay.
Yeah, he'll flee before he would fight and run away and be eaten by a grue.
Maybe,
Right,
maybe you
so-
could charm him. Charming him would maybe convince him to fight.
Charm our own guy so he can go fight.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I want you to do it because I haven't seen you do any magic yet.
Oh, so you want a show of magic? Yeah. Is it possible we could, like, under charm, I can convince him to fight?
Well, he's your friend as opposed to just a
Yeah.
hireling, so you might be able to. You already threw your dagger this turn, so it wouldn't be something
Yeah.
you're doing this turn.
Right. So I got to wait until next turn.
Right. All right, so let me see here. What do I got? I got V, and it's Victor. So these other dwarves that came in from behind, they can just kind of mill in, so anyone can be attacked by anybody. So it's 4, 1, 2, 5. So 1 would be Falcon, 2 is Valela, and 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Ezor.
Okay.
5 would be Hingle. And 6 would be Andre. All right, so the first one is basically it wouldn't be him. So let's see. It looks like Drat was actually trying. I messed up. I thought Drat is fighting the dwarf, so we'll say that was he is fighting him instead of Victor. That was what his role is. So we'll just do him first. He's going to be the easiest one to do.
Sure.
All right. 11. So that hits AC 6. Do you have it better than that, Philip?
My AC, let me look. I have an AC of 3, it seems.
All right, that's good. So he misses you.
Okay, low is good.
Yep, low is good. This is descending AC, they call it.
Okay.
I'm just going to roll the other 3 right across. All right, so 19 would be on Falcon. So I'm pretty sure that hits.
Yep.
So one of these dwarves from back, he threw the sling stone, right? And then one of these dwarves came in. These guys are using hand axes with shields. So 3 points of damage.
All right, I'm at 0.
All right, so Falcon goes down.
I
know
don't
if you saw the
expect to
rules.
stand too long.
Valela was a 9 that misses, and it looks like Hingle got hit by a hand axe as well.
He's got 4 hit points, so.
So he's got 1 left.
Oh, yay, he's still up.
All right, so when you go down in this game, you're unconscious, but you can't be involved in this fight, but then we just make a death saving throw to see if you are dead or alive, okay?
Okay, do you do that now or later?
Usually later. Do you want to do it now so you don't have to stay, but you still have the Valela to play as well, so it's up to you.
Well, yeah, I'll stay. I'm going to be
Okay,
staying.
so
that's been good.
all right, let's do a knit. I got a 6. That doesn't look good.
And we got a 5.
All right. Normally, do you want to cast a spell? I didn't tell you, but you're supposed to declare that ahead of time.
Oh, before the initiative?
Initiative, yeah. Did you want to cast a spell?
The charm person, we're going to try it on Hingle. So
I like it. So yes, you are casting a spell. All right, so they go first. So if they hit you and knock out the spell, then
okay,
you don't
nope,
cast it.
That makes sense.
All right, so the first one is going to be on this fight to the death with Himby and Drat. Drat seems focused on Himby. Ooh, and he got a 20.
So that's good in combat.
That is good, yeah. Well, I don't do criticals, though, so it's not a critical or anything like that.
Okay.
But it hits no matter what. So, all right, so he does 5 points of damage to you. So,
okay, how much do I have? I have 8 HP, so I'm pretty wounded.
All right, so you can choose to. Do you have? No, you don't have a shield, do you? You're using two-handed sword.
Yep.
All right. So the other 3 guys.
Valela will attack drop.
I got to do the other 3 dwarves here quick.
Sorry,
So-
misunderstood.
No problem. So Valela is being attacked again, and so it looks like Valela, Himby is being attacked by one of these dwarves, and Ezor is being attacked. So Valela has a 17. What's her AC? She's probably hit.
Yep.
Man, this is going to be TPK. This is sad.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
2 points of damage on Valela. Himby, 18 hits you. That was a very good roll, wasn't it? So Himby, you take 5 points of damage. So now you're down,
Yeah.
right?
I'm out, yeah.
All right. So this is terrible. All right. And that hits Ezor as well. 4 points of damage.
And Ezor is down.
Whoa.
All right. So who is left? Valela,
Yep.
Hingle, and Hayron, right?
Yeah.
So the hirelings and 1 party member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of the way it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yep.
Valela passed for morale check.
All right. Nice.
So what do you got to do for the morale check?
2d6.
2d6?
Well,
Yeah.
but Hingle's charmed, right? Or
Not
No,
yet.
I couldn't
didn't
cast
get
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got just taken out before.
I'm down before I can cast it.
You guys get to go yet this round? You haven't gone yet this round, have you?
Nope.
No. So we don't have to roll initiative. All right. So I think Hingle is all right as well, wasn't that? Didn't you have an 8?
Hingle is a 7.
Oh, so Hingle is going to flee this turn.
Yep.
So Val and Heyron can attack.
Okay. Does it look like I can fell drought with one blow?
I didn't hear you, Philip.
I didn't say anything. It's
Oh,
Andre.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Andre is what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a name on here, unless I over it.
Does this look like I can kill this thing with one blow? Do I know that?
He still seems to be capable. I mean, it's an undead skeleton.
Okay.
It's possible, but doubtful. We'll say.
Okay, so I'm going to flee.
Right.
Run as fast as I can.
That is the smart move.
You weren't in combat with anyone, right?
I was in
No
combat.
one attacked you this round?
I was in combat with Drought.
Okay, you were in melee with Drought. All right, so Drought gets an attack. What is Val doing?
Yeah, seeing the way things are going, I guess Val will flee.
She can try and take her.
Okay, she'll try to save Falcon.
All right, because she's not in melee because she's been fighting from reach.
Yep.
So she can try to grab Falcon and go. Okay.
Yep.
So Drought is going to get an attack with a +2 as Heyron flees, but the other guys won't. Oh boy, it is. All right, so it doesn't do any extra damage, just what his normal damage is.
Okay.
All right, but 7 points of damage. But he has a shield, right?
I do have a shield, yes.
All right, so you can sunder your shield to take that, and so your shield would be destroyed, but you would not be hurt.
I do that.
All right, so basically, now your shield is gone, so you don't have that AC bonus any longer. But you didn't get hurt. Basically, he just shattered your shield and laughs maniacally.
When I'm running, can I grab someone's torch?
Sure.
Because I think.
Well, you can. Hingle is fleeing with the torch, so if you get up close to him,
keep up with Hingle, and you're good.
You keep up with Hingle, you're good.
So can I grab the map? I think someone had the map, right?
I had the map. So you are next to me because we are both fighting Drought. So yeah.
You can grab him if you want.
Can I grab the map?
Not easily grab the map because I'm sure he has it like in his backpack or tucked away. But you could grab him if you want.
Yeah, you can drag me out.
Okay, can I run and take him with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing that.
Okay. All right. Since you guys are fleeing this area, they don't actually come after you. So you guys are just fleeing the whole place, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the only people who weren't grabbed was the Ezor was not grabbed, right?
Yep, I'm on the ground there somewhere.
But everyone else has a chance here to survive. So go ahead. Why don't you make your death save for Falcon, James? So it's just a save versus death.
How does it work? What do I roll?
You just roll a d20, and you need to beat the saving throw for death. So let's go.
I want to roll under.
Over.
So 10 or higher. Good.
I am dead.
You failed. All right, yeah, you didn't survive. It looks like the wound was enough that you've bled out. So.
Yep, I survive. I have a 10 and I wrote an 18.
Nice. All right, so you did survive.
It's a rollover. Which one?
Oh, well, you didn't get taken, so they just chop you up.
Okay.
Because no one grabbed your body.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry, I only have 2 arms, you know.
Nope, that works. That's fine.
All right, so I'll make a roll. I'm assuming you guys are just going straight to the boat and GTFO and right as soon as you can, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the plan.
All right, so it looks like you have no encounters on the way back, so you actually reach. So how much gold pieces do we have? Gold piece value?
600 gold pieces.
And
Plus
the gems.
And brandy.
Well, 600 gold pieces, plus an extra gold piece off Falcon's body. That's 600. That's 601. We have a book of arcane lore. Unless that's left with Ezor when he died.
I'm assuming
Probably.
it was a spell book. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gone. The spell book. 2.5 barrels of dwarven brandy.
My food arrived. I will be back in a second.
Okay.
You have a jasper gem and a citrine gem. So
Each
2
of those are
gems.
worth 50 gold. So that was 100 more.
And then you got nuggets of silver ashore.
Do you guys want to? You're going to just try to sell those nuggets, right? All right. So they're worth a total of 5 gold pieces. So that's 906. So if you basically when you get met at the gates of Sindanor.
Oh, and we can
they
sell.
have a tith of.
We can resell the boat back to the guy for 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give you that for XP.
So I was going to say he'll be surprised.
I'm surprised. So basically, there's a tith of 25%. But if you say that you'll share the information, they'll lower it to 10%.
There you go.
So what do you want to do?
You learn stuff about the main island, then if you share that info with them, they'll
lower it down to
the
10%. Yeah, because then they share that information and they can use it in the future.
That's cool.
Well, I think do we choose this individually? Or
Well, no, it's just the total. It's before you get let back into the place, into Sindanor.
Town.
Okay.
I'm not there, so it's
You're going to get the XP
your
regardless,
choices.
but you're not going to. It depends on how much gold that you'll have left over.
Okay, I think. What are our options again?
You pay 25% to get inside, or you pay 10% if you give the information of where you went and what you found.
Oh, okay. I think we should give the information, right?
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we give the information. Maybe we show the map that we made. We could update the map on the table.
Add to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so everyone gets 100 XP for exploration. I'll just figure it out quick for you. So you also found you explored new hexes, so you get some XP for that. 10 XP for each new hex. The rock layer is worth 100 XP.
Sorry, how much XP did we get for exploring the hexes?
10 each. I'm just going to tell you what a total is. I was just kind of telling you how I've come to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and how many surviving PCs do we have? 3?
3.
Oh, well, the cleric is as well, so the cleric will get some. Even though they didn't help you in the last fight, they were still there.
Yeah, when he could turn undead, that guy.
That's my fault. I had bad pacing. It's hard to do pacing for this kind of game, though.
Yeah, it happens.
Terrible,
No
yeah.
problem.
So everyone gets 227 XP. And you get a plus 10%. If you get a plus 10%, that'd be plus 23, depending on what your prime rec is. I think I might have wrote it on some of them. I don't know for sure.
Depending on what?
If your prime stat is 16 or higher, you get 10% bonus, and if it's if you have a +1, you get a 5% bonus.
Oh, okay, so I get a 5% bonus.
Yeah. Oh, what's the prime stat?
For what? What class are you?
Dwarf.
Strength.
No.
I guess for the fighter is the strength as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the surviving characters, it's 227 XP and 203.75 GP. What that is 7 silver, 5 copper, 203 gold.
You guys owe though 3 gold to Ingle and 3 gold to Vala for daily wages.
Oh, Yep.
What?
The
Our-
old
the
NPCs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
they deserve to be paid.
I guess you end up with 200.75. All right, so you guys successfully, made it back. I do have carousing rules. I can warn you that you may not want to do carousing because there's bad things as well as good things. What that means is you can basically, use your gold pieces and change those into experience points. But it basically means you've been out drinking, and I have different tables depending on what class you are. But there is one more thing we have to figure out. So when you go to 0 hit points, even when you make your save, something happens to you.
Oh no.
Which is another random table that I use from Adventure Conqueror King, which is the permanent wounds table. So you need to roll a d20. Were you exactly 0?
I was -2.
-2? All right. Do you have a con modifier?
No.
What's your constitution? No?
Yeah, 12, so I don't have
Just
a
barely.
modifier. Yep. Same with strengths. I'm just smart and wise.
So close. All right, so what I want you to do is roll a d20 and a d6. So just roll a d20 and a d6.
18 on the d20 and a 2 on the d6.
Okay, so basically the wound from I forgot the dude's name. Drat. Yeah, Drat to the something bad. Drat Stone Axe was his real name. He basically you were just knocked out. You were knocked out by him, and you need a day's healing before you can begin to wound. But you suffered notable scarring on your face, so you get a -1 to reaction rolls because of that. That's it. So that's a very good thing from that table. So that's basically not a huge deal. Didn't you already have a bad reaction?
Yeah, I already have a -1 charisma.
Nice, but that's a good. I mean, you went down in battle against Drat Stone Axe,
Yeah.
Famous dwarf. So, is there anything anyone else wanted to do? Any carousing or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Let's do carousing and roll another random table.
All right, I like it. So, how much do you want to do your carousing?
Okay, where is the level cap for?
As much as you want money. It's whatever money you have.
No,
Yeah.
I think for his level. What's he need?
Oh, how many XP do you need?
Yeah.
For a dwarf?
Where's he at compared
probably-
to where he needs to be?
Probably quite a bit. Dwarves, you need 2,200 for level 2.
Yeah. Then I'll just
Just enough carousing to forget the weekend.
yeah. Let's just throw in enough for a keg of dwarven brandy, which would be 100.
Okay. All right. So you want to just do general carousing, or are you interested in piety or anything else?
Just general dwarvish carousing.
All right. Sounds good. So roll a d30.
D30.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
11. All right. So as you were slamming some dwarven ale or the dwarven brandy, roll a d10.
Nine.
A 9. All right. One thing led to another, and you ended up drinking with a pirate captain who was nearby, and basically you guys got angry enough and insulted enough with each other that you're having a duel on the morrow.
Sure.
So if you ever play this again, we will play this duel out.
Yeah.
But you also get your XP you actually get 200 XP if you win.
That's kind of cool.
Yep.
All right. Is anyone else wants to carouse?
I don't know. I wanted to maybe find a bard or someone who plays an instrument and composes songs, and I want this to pay this person to write a song about our deceased wizard, the magic user.
The one you've never seen cast the spell.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah, are you sure he was a magic user?
He may not have been.
The supposed magic user.
All right. How much money are you willing to pay this minstrel?
Does he ask for a specific amount?
No, but you
All
know,
depends on how good of a song you want.
yeah, you get what you pay
Okay,
for in this instance.
Is maybe 40 gold pieces
Sounds good.
a good enough amount?
That's two
there you
boats.
That's two boats.
Two boats worth. 2 boats worth of a song.
Awesome, guys. All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to cover?
Yeah. I think I would buy a bow and some arrows if I could, but that's it.
I will add a bow and arrow and take off your money for that for you.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome, guys. So I appreciate it. If anyone actually stayed through this 3.5-hour session, that's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
That's great. Is there anything else? Anyone, anything else you guys want to talk about or anything quick before we call it a day?
Yep. As my first real old school D&D game, I feel I got a pretty good impression with being at the mercy of random tables all the time and characters just dying in the end because we got greedy. So yeah, thanks. I got an old school experience.
All right, good, man.
Caution happens to be a big thing with the old games.
Yes.
Caution and running away.
Yes, that's totally true. Were you going to say something, Andre?
No, that's exactly what makes this sort of game so much fun. Is this sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I think it takes, usually by session 3 or so, you are really getting involved with your character, and you have a lot more stuff that you learn about than you go on and you maybe want to go. I really appreciated the way you guys were like, oh, I want to find these diamond mine. Let's go do it. So that was cool. Awesome. Anything else?
No, just say I enjoyed seeing what you could do with Roll20. I'd run some games on it before, and I decided maps were sort of too much work for the effort. So I rather enjoyed seeing how you did that.
Yeah, it's much simpler than a lot of the other virtual tabletops.
Yeah, I think so too. I would say, it takes some time to do all the dynamic lighting and all that, but for me, it's worth it because I can still use it in the future. I could run this game whenever and people can still go in the same place and see this. It's kind of fun because it creates its own story just in the locations. So I feel like it's worth it because of that. So if I was running like a normal campaign that wasn't a drop in, drop out like this, that could be run at any time with any different players, I'm not sure if I would put as much work into the maps because you may only use it for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
But this, I just have it and I can do whatever I want with them. So I have probably 30 of them.
The other thing that's kind of nice with Roll20 is if you play more of the modern games that have like tokens or you move dice around the table or all sorts of things like that, you can do some of that stuff with Roll20. Really simple. Because even there's a couple games where you move dice around and you can take your die roll from the sidebar and put your die on the map.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's pretty cool.
So you can do all sorts of cool things like that. So.
Yeah. I really love Roll20. And like I say, I'm around. If you guys like get some people together and you're like, hey, I'm going to send each other emails and we'll contact them. Let's do it again. Let me know. Just send me an email. I'm Hobbs and Friends at misdirectedmark.com.
That's cool. I'll have to do a magic user that lives. I know where there's a spell book I can find.
My email you can reach me at. So I really appreciate you guys playing. I had no idea if anyone would or what, but there you go. And I'm going to get us off live so we're not stopping going any farther.